And good afternoon, everybody. How you guys doing? Hope you're in fantastic morning, fantastic afternoon, fantastic evening, wherever you are in the big wide world. Sorry about that, you guys. I did just open Zoom. Wait, what's wrong? One second. Let me turn off the chat. Sorry, there we go. Anyway, yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Obviously, big day today. We will have a guest joining us in 1 hour, which is why I was talking about Zoom. We will have Daniel Naroditsky on to join us in roughly about 50 minutes from now. So that's coming up. Will I accept Lex Fridman's recent interview invite? So, all right, first things first, we obviously have the tweet that we have to cover. So let me pull it up. There's no way really around it. Obviously, everyone saw it. I think this went up like an hour after my stream ended, so I couldn't cover it yesterday. But we have to talk about it. So, all right, here we go. So here is the tweet. So let me stop the music. Give me 1 second. Let me stop the music, and here we go. Let me change the scene, of course. Here we go. Here we I think this is better, right? Here we go. Here is actually, I can probably, I guess no, it's too large if I open it. So I'll just read it to you guys. Or actually, no, I kind of have to, don't I? So let me make it a little bit smaller. Let me adjust this. Give me 1 second. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Here we go. All right. Okay, there we go. And this is from chess.com. So I guess I'll leave this right here. And I will move my cam to the center at least so I don't block this, because I think it's important that the logo is showing. All right, so there we go. This is the important piece of news from the Twitter from last night. It says, "Dear chess community, the last few days have been tumultuous for many in the chess community. At this time, we have reached out to Hans Niemann to explain our decision to privately remove him from chess.com and our events. We have shared detailed evidence with him concerning our decision, including information that contradicts his statements regarding the amount and seriousness of his cheating on chess.com. We have invited Hans to provide an explanation and response with the hope of finding a resolution where Hans can again participate on chess.com. We want nothing more than to see the best chess players in the world succeed in the greatest events. We will always act to protect the integrity of the game that we all love. Danny Wrench, Chief Chess Officer of chess.com, obviously, as you can see from the logo. So of course, this has to be the first topic of the day that we have to talk about. Now as I read it again, like I don't know exactly what they have or don't have, but as I read this, it sounds as though they're essentially saying that when Hans went on with Alejandro and did an interview after, I guess it was round 5 or round 6, I forget which one exactly, that basically he said he only cheated twice. He cheated once when he was 12 years old, and he cheated when he was 16 in some random unrated games. I believe that's what he said. Again, this is not quote for quote, so you know, I'm just saying as from what I understood of the interview, that's what he said. It would appear to me that chess.com is essentially saying that no, that's not true. There's a lot more going on than just that. But he had been removed before his interview. Like I said, I don't know what's going on here, but I also think the thing that has to be understood is that it's very clear there's a lot of legal stuff as well. Our chess megathread incoming, yeah, thank you for that. It's very clear, however, that there must be some legal stuff going on behind the scenes as well. So yeah, Hans did that online to get the rating higher, so it had to be rated games. Yeah, who knows? Again, I don't know. I don't exactly know what's going on here, but it sounds like, frankly, chess.com is saying, you know, something more happened, and that's that. Again, I also believe, my understanding, again, this is from some years back. I remember there was like a chess.com meetup that happened about like 5 years ago. And at that time, I remember one of the general statements they made at the opening of that was that basically if an account is closed or things of that nature, basically they're willing to go to court over that. So it seems to me that I mean, I don't know if that's their policy. Any of those things still exist, because again, this was like 5 years ago. I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. And so it's very hard for me to believe that they're what, making it up or something like that. So we just have to see. We have to see. I don't think legally they can, though. And the other problem with this with what you guys are saying is that how can you, if you release that data and people you know cheat on the online website, doesn't that give some insight into how your algorithm and everything else works? I mean, I think it's very, very complicated. It is a policy. Okay, so I mean, if they're saying this, I mean, if this is just wrong, for example, then Hans would take them to court. However, to me, it seems very unlikely that a billion-dollar company, they just bought Play Magnus for $82 million. They have a lot of lawyers, probably a lot of PR stuff going on. I find it almost impossible to believe they would have just done this if they don't have proof. So that's my general read of this. Obviously, it's very, very serious. And I guess we just have to wait to see what happens. I think really you just wait to see what happens. I will also say what I reiterated yesterday. What'd you say? You're saying Hans admitted cheating on their site. They're part of a story. Yeah, you can tell a lawyer wrote this. Okay. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's what Hans it's on Hans, right, to say something to this, because they're basically saying like, you said this, we're saying that's not true. What's your response to that? That's the way that I understand it. So we'll see what Hans says. And yeah, that's that. It's they're baiting him. Yeah, you guys, come on. They're literally buying Play Magnus for $82 million. They have lots of lawyers, lots of PR people. I mean, calling this a bait, I mean, that's on a different planet, honestly. Different planet. That's on it. That's just, I mean, that's yeah, you got to be on a different planet if you're making that up. Lance Armstrong was aggressively defending himself until he wasn't. I mean, yeah, I am aware of that, but who knows? Anyway, it is very serious. It's very big news. I'm guessing this means that Magnus probably still is not saying anything, but it is what it is. Daniel is joining me in about 45 minutes from now. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. What else do we have? A lot of stuff. I was thinking the same at the beginning of the scandal. Yeah. So you're saying all I had to do to become a top GM is to stick something up my something? Very funny, you guys. Very funny. Very, very, very funny. No, Daniel. So Daniel Naroditsky will be joining me in about 45 minutes. But yeah, it's gonna be wild. Obviously, we're gonna see what the response is to this. We're gonna see what the response is. But again, I mean, yeah, now you begin to question everything. I will say that you begin to question everything. It's hard to it's really hard to know what to say. I mean, until Hans says something. But chess.com is basically saying that. They're just saying that he's not being honest. Now, what does that mean? I mean, you can speculate on that. We don't know, but I really hope this doesn't include like tournaments, for example, like Title Tuesday or things. I know Daniel was apparently saying something about a Title Tuesday yesterday. I didn't get around to hearing a lot about it, but I heard Daniel was saying something from Title Tuesday. Where's the evidence? Well, the problem is I think it's a situation where if they have to release evidence, people will understand how their algorithm works, all these other things. So I assume it's something that will only happen if it's actually in court. That's my guess. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty wild. It's gonna be pretty wild. So they don't want to ruin his career. They're giving him a chance to come clean. So that's another possibility, right? So you're saying that basically, well, it says we have invited Hans to provide an explanation and response. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. At any rate, the games have started, so we'll go back to the chess for now. Let me change the scene, obviously, and we'll go from there. Let me put the music back on as well. Yeah. So thank you so much to Akila Ungula for the 35 months. I'm curious if Hans's Rapid Chess Championship performances were under scrutiny, especially after that one win. I don't know. You know, again, the thing that I said is, you know, someone actually said to me, you know, when Hans beat me and I won the event, someone said they're like, you know, I think like something was going on. I was like, no, you're just crazy. There's nothing going on. So again, when there's this narrative that somehow I'm pushing this all the way, like I've been one of the people who when I've heard these rumors consistently, I have thought, okay, I mean, I don't know why people think this exactly. Thanks so much to JPG for the 27 and Matterhorn for the 20. Thank you to Fianna Star for the Prime, XX Madzilla for the tier 1. Thank you so much to Wimmo for the tier 1, Arcane Dog for the Prime. Thank you so much to I'm Pillow Pants for the tier 1, Lupinexi with the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah, we'll see. Could the person have influenced Magnus also? I doubt it, but you know, again, it's really, really hard to tell. Thank you so much, Tommy J. Salami, for the 16 months. But again, we'll see. But what this is saying to me, though, it's clearly showing, though, that there's a lot more to the story than just the surface. Like, I know Magnus isn't saying anything, but it seems very clear there has to be a lot more going on behind the scenes. Thank you so much to Destra NI for the 13 months. Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Destra NI. All right, so we have a Rui Lopez in the game between Fabiano and, of course, Levon Aronian. We just covered the chess.com tweet. Yeah, we did. So okay, what do we have? We have Ich bin ein Berliner, classic Berlin defense from Levon here, the early d5 setup. Queen takes d5, of course, will be played here on the white. Normally goes bishop c4. Now I did win with this in the critical fifth, I believe it was the fifth game, second to last game of the third and final leg in the Berlin FIDE Grand Prix. Very critical game. I had to win that game. Beating Levon means that by beating Levon, I was able to qualify for the candidates tournament, so it was a very critical game, so I have very fond memories of that. Okay, so we get b4, bishop b6, of course, will be played. Then white can play a4, castles, or knight d2. Those are the three moves. Yeah. FIDE can investigate and give judgment, not Magnus. Yeah, I guess. I mean, at this point, though, we'll see. We'll see. Why isn't Hans moving? Oh no, don't. Oh, don't tell me Hans isn't there. Uh-oh. I mean, someone can tell me on the official broad, because I'm not in the mood to watch it. Oh, he is there? He hasn't shown up, or he is? I mean, mods, can somebody tell me what's going on? Oh, he is there? Okay, he is at the board. Okay, yeah. Anything spicy yet today, chat? Just show up in this first 20 minutes. Yes, we're off to a spicy start. Chess.com came out with a very big tweet, and now, I mean, now who knows? Now we'll see. Okay, so we have knight f3 in the game between Maxime and Hans. Fabiano versus Levon. Okay, I believe e4 is the correct move here, but we'll see. Yeah, I think e4. I think actually I had this against Levon, right? I had this line with knight e4. I had this against Levon in the Isle of Man event in 2019. I had the Isle of Man. I think legally you can't do it. I think legally you can't do anything. That's the point. I think legally you can't. Is my understanding, because I assume there's probably some privacy agreement and other things. That's my guess. So I think you actually, they like literally can't show it unless it's like in court or something of that nature. I know, I mean, everybody obviously wants something, but yeah, so we're gonna have Daniel on a little bit later. Thanks so much to Great Spanish Ball for the 5 and Skur Kurz for the 17 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much to Crossy Man for the 30 months and Hot Poter for the $3. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to Hot Poter. How do you not prep for one night f3? MVL plays in the Tasmania Cup 2023 against Vesseling. Oh, you're trolling me, Benjamin. Thank you for that. Thank you so much to Heat Miser for the 45 months. Thank you, Benjamin. I didn't even look closely, and yeah, okay. So we have some moves: knight 3, d5, g3. Very solid opening. Lenier's game against Ali Reza. Oh no, are we gonna get a draw? Is he gonna play bishop g5 or bishop c1? First big moment of truth. If bishop c1, we are going to get a threefold repetition with knight f6 here. Thank you so much to JK Jerkface for the 3 months. Thank you so much to JK Jerkface. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you, man. All right, thank you so much to Patty Door for the night. I mean, the other thing is, I think for a lot of the players here, it's just very, very hard. Like, how are you supposed to play with everything that's going on as well? I mean, for all the other players, you just like, it's got to be very, very difficult. But we'll see. Thank you so much to Treviral for the 21 months. Thank you so much, Treviral. Thank you so much to Codify for the 14 months. Thank you so much to Munchin for the Prime as well. Thank you so much to Munchin. Thank you so much to Curry HC for the 26 months. Appreciate it. 5-move draw and take the day off. Yeah. Did I see a meme Lee Chess retweeted? No, I didn't. Fabiano said he didn't prep much because his mind was elsewhere. Well, I mean, it's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. All of a sudden, Hikaru not playing Sinquefield is like dodge. Okay, so Lenier does go bishop g5, so he decides to go for it. So we're gonna get a game here. Why would it be a threefold repetition? Because the players repeated. So this was the initial position. That they go back and then they go back. And now Lenier has to either make the repetition 3 times, same position, or play bishop g5 like he does in the game, and the game goes on. Thank you so much to Kill Me Sack for the 11 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's not impossible. How can a grandmaster not be able to focus amid distraction? Well, I mean, this is like unprecedented though. I am playing the 9LX in St. Louis as of right now. But it's unprecedented. Thank you so much for Real Icky for this. So it's like, it doesn't happen. Like, someone doesn't drop out in the middle of the tournament. In a closed tournament, a top level event, it does not happen. Thank you so much, Hobo the IV, for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Wesley thanked the anti-cheating yesterday. Wow. Yeah, okay, let's go back to Maxime's game. Knight f3, d5, g3 played. And we'll see what happens. I mean, do I think Magnus owes the chess community a statement? Well, I mean, I said this the first day, and I mean, even yesterday, someone I know was coming up with, still pushing this alternate theory about how, like, it's about preparation being leaked. But I mean, it's very clear at this point that it has nothing, that Magnus is basically saying what he's saying. It has nothing to do with preparation, because otherwise Magnus would have come out and said something. There's no way he would have let this things go the way they've gone if that wasn't the case. So I think it's very, very clear. So yeah, thank you so much to Devil Mental for the 19 and Pioneer B for the 1000 bits. Thank you so much North Mythos for the 200 bits as well. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you so much to Bagel Blue for the 10 months. Maybe Magnus literally doesn't care. If Magnus didn't care at all, he would just retire. That's the reality. Same shirt as yesterday. Oh, I didn't think I wore this yesterday. Maybe I did. No, I wore a different one. I wore a lighter one, you guys. But yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so we'll see. At any rate, let's see what happens. So we get 95 here. Okay, this game's still very normal, this live game. A4 castles, the e4 takes bishop takes e4 or queen d1, I believe, are both. Maybe are they both moves, or is just bishop e4 the move? I think they're both moves, but bishop e4 is another move. Chess.com leaning into this drama for good reason. Well, I mean, Hans said he said quite clearly in the interview that there were only 2 instances that something happened, but it's very clear from the chess.com statement they're saying that's not the case. Thank you so much to Terrain Tula pull up for the 25 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So anyway, who's the favorite to win the tournament? I assume it is I believe it's Wesley. Wait, am I crazy, or did I not have this exact position against Levon in the Grand Swiss? One second, let me see. I could have sworn I had this exact same position. Let me pull up chess 24. Give me 1 second. Just pull up the game. I'm pretty sure I had this exact position, didn't I? Let me go back like 10 moves in that game. Let me go back. Okay, back. Yeah, I had this exact position, and Levon played rook ac8 here. Yeah, I had this exact position against Levon with the white pieces in the Grand Swiss, and of course rook ac8 is played. This is probably going to be a draw pretty soon. This will probably be a draw very soon. Now in the game, of course, I believe I played I played bishop b3. Fabiano plays bishop d5, which is the other line here. But after takes knight e7, there's some line here, I think, with a5 at some point where black is supposed to be fine. I don't remember exactly what it is, but there's some line like that. So anyway, the show goes on. So takes. There's also knight e5 here, I think, which is also a move, if I'm not mistaken. It seems like Magnus must have a valid reason for silence. Nothing for you and Daniel to do, it looks like. What do you mean? I mean, we're going to cover the games. We'll talk about a lot of stuff. Yeah, what do you mean? Thanks so much to Shrek Mike for the Prime and Alex H Hat for the tier 1. Yeah, knight e5 is the other move besides knight e7. And again, I think black's supposed to take, and then I believe it's king b2. It's like king b2, if I'm not mistaken, was the move here. It goes king c2 instead. What exactly is Hans doing by delaying his move so much? I don't know. I have no idea. There's some chance that he didn't prep for this line. I mean, again, with everything that's going on as well. Magnus posted a picture with Arian on Instagram, both smiling with a bottle of gin and tonic. Yeah. I think there's a Hydro Pro for the Prime. I think there's a Hydro Pro. Appreciate it. Thank you. So anyway, yeah, we're just chilling, having a good time. Obviously, this is probably gonna get like more and more spicy as the day heats up, but we keep going. Yeah, I announced the guest. Yes, the guest will be Daniel Naroditsky. Yeah. What are we gonna get? Rook e8, bishop f2 is a move here. Daniel had lots of hot takes on the current situation. Well, yeah, Rebecca Harris will be joining us. Yeah, the chess.com statement, it is just straight up on Twitter. It's just on Twitter. That's that. So Yeah, we're gonna see. I don't know if Dan is streaming later or it's just here, but at any rate, it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. So we'll see. We shall see what's going on. Daniel said Reddit needs to take an edible and chill with Netflix. Did he really say that? That's pretty crazy. At any rate, what else do we have? Lenny's game still waiting for some moves. Chakrar's game, by the way, this is going to be Chakra and Jan are making a draw, by the way. This is the draw. Wesley and I think have like 10 games this line. We last year was in Berlin in the FIDE Grand Prix. So yeah, knight c3 is one of the other ways to play it. Normally black takes on c3 though, so it's a little bit unusual. Yeah, I think it's good to discuss things with Daniel. Good choice for a podcast. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I listened to Hans's interview. Well, now I don't know what to say. I mean, because yeah, a lot of people are saying his interview, giving him the benefit of the doubt with his claim that he cheated 2 times when he was 12 and when he was 16, I guess it was. But I mean, now chess.com is basically saying, they're saying that like all of that was not true, I guess. Thank you so much. Do you think for the 2 months? Thank you, cool boy, for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So Magnus had posted anything, apparently it's on Tari's, I guess. Yeah, I watched Fabiano's podcast. I watched a touch of it, not much. I think it's great that Fabiano's doing a podcast. I think it's great. Yeah, would I go on Fabiano's podcast? I actually would. I would. Yeah, I'd probably go on I'd probably go on Fabiano's podcast. Oh, it's Chirilla's, it's not Fabiano's. Oh, okay. Again, I mean, with certain limitations, I would. Whether your team Hans or team actually got to admit the interview is pretty powerful, but the problem is with the interview now, I mean, isn't chess.com basically saying that it's not true? Or I mean, maybe I'm just wrong on that, but that's what it sounds like from the tweet. I mean, so yeah. No shuffle on Spotify. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me put shuffle on. Change the song. Okay, let's change the song. There we go. Okay. Thanks so much to Optic MAL for the 19 months. Thank you so much to Optic MAL. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so we get knight c3. So b takes c3 surely will be played here. I'm not sure why Shaq is thinking so long, but let's move on. Fabiano's game, no moves. Okay, we get g3, knight f6, bishop g2, c5, castles, g6 played here. Yeah. Dominguez versus Ferrugia is, yeah, same position. Yeah. Oh, Arian posted a story with Magnus. Aha. Yeah. Thank you so much to Tony Cool for the 17 months. Thank you so much to Tony Cool. Appreciate it. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, so okay. Or wait, no, sorry, we've got a bunch of moves. Wait. Oh, by the way, actually, you guys, why is today my day? So this line as well, what can I say? This is also something, oh man, I have to dig up that game. This is this brings back painful memories. I think it was 2017. Let me see if I have the year right. This brings back painful memories. This brings back painful memories. This is from another game that I played. This is, yeah. Oh, this is gonna be painful. Yeah. They're all copying you. Apparently they are today. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. But the difference is in my game against Grishuk, I played queen takes f3, not g takes f3. I played queen f3, it went bishop c3. I'll just show you guys the game. Because this game, basically not winning this game cost me a shot at the at making the candidates in 2018. So it's king d1, queen a4. This is all normal. I think it was king c1, right? Or no, sorry, it's knight c2, bishop b2, rook c1, rook c8, bishop d3. And this, by the way, is all a forced draw, just so you guys know. I think it was he went rook f8, queen h5, king e7, queen takes h6, and this is already a blunder here. Rook f8 was a mistake here. I believe that after bishop takes c1, queen f6, king d7 is supposed to be like a forced draw after king c1 and knight before. I don't remember the exact line, or maybe I've got the line wrong. There's some forced draw in here. At any rate, basically I blitzed out 20. I blitzed out like 20 moves in the game, or 23 moves I believe it was. And then here Grishuk played rook f8. I played queen h5. It was a long game. I was actually winning at one critical moment, but unfortunately the game ended in a draw. By drawing that game, Grishuk kept the lead in the FIDE Grand Prix, which is being held in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates, and he drew that game. He went on to win the event, and that kind of prevented me from qualifying. So I have very poor memories of this line as well. I think it's a midnight for the 24 months. I think it's midnight. Appreciate it. Can chess.com run their anti-cheat programs on Hans over the board games? I'm sure they can, but again, I mean, who knows? Ooh, 95. I guess if you try to create the fossil, I just dodge and then I take and I create my own fork. Interesting idea here from Ali Reza. How do you remember these lines without beads? Very funny, you guys. I mean, you don't like, I think, you know, one of the misnomers is everyone assumes that we remember all our games from start to finish. We actually do not remember them from start to finish, but the openings you almost always remember. You remember like the opening to some degree, and you remember like a couple critical moments, like what was the theme of that game. So yeah. All right, let's move on. Fabiano versus Lev, no new moves. Maxime versus Hans, no new moves. Shaq versus Nepo. Okay, this game, what happened? We got takes. I'm expecting this game to be drawn pretty soon, by the way. Yeah, but anyway, would I go on the Lex Fridman podcast? Potentially, but at the end of the day, I mean, there is legal stuff with all of this. Again, I mean, I think everybody has to be fairly careful because of that. So it's not, you know, it's not quite as simple as everyone thinks. Thank you so much, Elite Geek, for the 25 months. Appreciate it. Yeah. We get FG3 played here, so of course if white makes a new queen you get checkmated, so you can't do that. You have to take on G3 here, probably with the H pawn. F pawn opens up some diag, so it feels kind of wrong, so you probably take capture towards the center, able to create the connect 3. Yeah, so anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, Lex really wants that juicy content. I mean, I would gladly go. I'd gladly go on, but again, with this topic in particular, people have to be very, very careful with what they say. Thank you so much to Mick MCG for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Just saw a chess.com tweet. Danny's reply. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious. Like I said, though, in general terms, as far as chess.com goes, like the one thing that was true, and people in chat were saying it's still true, is that I know that chess.com, when they talk about like the bans and things of that nature, the only reason they will do that is if they're 100% sure that I mean, maybe I shouldn't say 100% sure, but if they're sure that if someone sues over like a wrongful account closure, cheating, whatever the technical terms are, that they'll go to court and they'll be able to prove that without a doubt that they were right, the person was doing something uncouth. So that is, I mean, that I believe was a policy. Maybe it still isn't, but I think that is. Should online cheating have OTB consequences? I mean, I think it's tough. One thing that I think is going to be very interesting is will there be a conversation between FIDE, chess.com, and Lichess? That's actually a big question that I think is, and that's probably a good thing, that I think there's going to have to be some conversation between those three groups. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm clapping with Daniel. Yeah, Daniel will be joining a little bit later on. Yeah. Well, Chess24 is being bought by chess.com. So yeah. I don't buy that is their actual policy. Then once court, they would have to reveal their methods. If it ever went to court, it would be settled out of court. I don't know. Again, I don't know what their policies are. But yeah, Daniel is joining me. Daniel's awake already. He's awake. Yeah, I probably streaming late, but I know he's probably awake. But I am awake. How's it going, Daniel? But no, it's gonna be an interesting day. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess the thing is, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if Hans doesn't lose the game today, I assume there's going to be an interview, and then I don't know what he's going to say. Danny said they're always willing to go to court. Okay, I said Danya. So Danya is like, I think in Russian is like a diminutive. So it's like instead of saying like Daniel, you say Don, or actually in Russian it would be Danya, I believe. It wouldn't be Danya. Danya is like being, it's like Danny California being very American, but I think in Russia it would be Danya. But at any rate, yeah, at any rate, it's like a diminutive. It's like how people don't call people always say Sasha instead of they don't say Alexander, they say Sasha. So same kind of thing. So Daniel speaks for itself, right? Exactly. Do you think chess.com sending evidence is why I ducked out of yesterday's interviews? I'm pretty sure that tweet was like an hour after my stream ended though, and I think I covered all the games. No, or am I wrong on the timing? I could be wrong on that, but who knows. All right, Shakriar's game. Okay, I believe I've seen this position before. Bishop e7 and bishop c5 I believe are moves as well. Yeah. There might also be rook c8. Well, Chess said they sent Hans an email privately. I mean, again, nobody knows exactly what's going on, but I'm guessing there's probably legal stuff involved. That's all that I can guess. Thanks so much to Dave Shinder for the 13, Ice 420 for the 28, and Hallucinogen for the prime. Yeah. Danny keeps changing his accents with his impression. Very sus, to be honest. Kappa. I mean, Danny's got the best accents by a country mile, at least of like the chess streamers on Twitch. He does, yeah, at least of like the people who stream chess on Twitch. I mean, he does accents better than anyone. And it's not even close. So anyway, back to the game. Yeah, Levy does. Yeah, no, Levy does good accents, but I mean, Danny does like 50 accents. He's got like all of them. Yeah, Levy has a few that are really good, but I feel like Danny does like a bunch that are good. Like he has like 20 that are good. I feel like Levy has like 5 to 10 that are really good. That's not throwing shade. Chill, you guys. Stop trying to create drama elsewhere. Anyway, okay, so not a whole lot happening. White's maybe slightly better in this game. I mean, this game between Lenier and Alireza, I think it's objectively equal, but it might be easier to play because if you go king g2 and knight e3 here, you've got a very safe king with the pawns. You can go like rook b1, bishop e4. I actually don't like this position that much for black. I think even though it's probably equal objectively, it feels hard to play somehow. Yeah. Is MVL Hans a draw? I don't know. Although this actually, no, this is standard. This is just a drawn position out of the opening. Yeah. At any rate, yeah, let's see what happens here. Shaq's game. Okay, we get rook c8. I believe. I mean, I forgot if it's queen d1 or bishop out. Is it bishop f5 here? I mean, this also should be. There's some line that's a draw. I think it's like queen d1. Takes bishop f5, and I think you got some line like this. No, maybe this is wrong. There's some. Oh no, it's rook c4 first. It's rook c4 takes, and then you take with the rook, and this is just a known draw. So this game's not going to be long for this world. I wouldn't be shocked if this game is drawn before Daniel joins me here. So okay. Thank you so much to Midrot for the 5 months. Thank you so much to Black Panther for $3. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah, Daniel gives awesome analysis in Russian. Yeah, I mean, I think he grew up speaking Russian, so he's obviously completely fluent in the language. What if they all agree to draw everything besides their games with Hans? I mean, that's the thing, is it's very hard. It's very hard to play under these circumstances for everybody. Very, very tough. Any part of you thinks that Hans is just a kid being dumb? I don't know. Nobody knows what chess.com has, but I will say this: if he did like do something entitled Tuesday, or I don't know, like the RCC, or like I don't know, like SCC or any of those events, I mean, it's a big problem. It's a big problem. I think it's just a PB chess for 11 months. We get rook d8, no, like rook e5, bishop d4 here. Yeah, I mean, if it's in one of those sorts of events, then they're real problems. Then they're real problems, because those are money events. Like there are people playing that trying to earn a living, and yeah, that's yeah. Danny went banned for no reason. That's also true, of course. Yeah, no, that's a very, very good point. I feel like it's a problem no matter where it happened. Yeah, again, we'll see. Yeah, if he did cheat in money events, or there's evidence that completely contradicts what he said in his interview, well, yeah, obviously. I take away their income by winning every week. Haha, very funny. But you know, I was thinking about it. It's like, for example, if you look at let's just look at Arena Kings or one of those events. Like you look at these guys like Jose Jospin, or you look at Bortnik, of course. I mean, these guys are great streamers. They're grinding. I mean, they don't get as much support as they deserve. Bortnik in particular, I mean, he's always like always animated, always having a lot of fun, a lot of good rages, etc., etc. And like these guys, they're trying to earn a living. They're trying to earn their living, and it's, yeah, if you're taking money away from these guys, like that's, yeah, but we'll see. Do I think Hans will give a statement next or ChessCon? Well, it has to be Hans, right? They made their statement. Hans has to say, look, like I did this, or no, they're making this up, in which case obviously, I mean, if they're making it up, I mean, he should go to court, right? But somehow I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Hikaru is taking their money away though by playing good chess. Thank you. This game is really, I feel like this is going to be a draw very soon, by the way. But yeah, the scandal is so huge at this point. Chess.com are somehow lying. Is Chess.com are somehow lying this would tank them and Magnus? Yeah, I don't think so. I just don't buy it. I mean, they have to have something. It's just that's like either that or like Danny Wrench is literally the greatest poker player of all time. I mean, maybe he is. You don't know. I mean, but somehow I don't really believe that. I mean, I just, yeah, I don't really believe he's not. Yeah, I mean, Danny, yeah, like, I mean, Danny Wrench is, yeah, he's like, I mean, either they have some, or he is literally the greatest poker player of all time. Thank you so much to Gotham's Chess for the Prime and G Wills for the Prime. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, but it is what it is, so we'll see. Gotham's Chest, exactly, you guys, exactly, yeah. When I saw tumultuous times that letter, I instantly knew who wrote that. You mean like the lawyers? Yeah. Okay, so I guess this is some kind of really deep prep from Fabiano to try and push a C pawn up the board. Black probably tries to create counterplay with the G and H pawn. Black has one extra pawn here, but white is a passed pawn, and these pawns are really slow getting up the board. So white is not, I mean, I don't think Fabiano is risking anything here in terms of losing. Probably it's going to be a draw though. So anyway, no karma farming. Well, I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, tumultuous is a good adjective though. It's a good way, good thing to say. Yeah, how could they be ending at the game just started? Because I think a lot of people just don't know what to do today. That's my read. I think a lot of people don't know what to do. Yeah, we get queen d1, we're gonna get takes, bishop c3, bishop f5, rook c4, takes. This is all theory. I think even I've looked, I think even I looked at this at some point during the candidates with this rook d4. So this is gonna be, this will be a draw. Friday vibes? No, but today's Thursday, isn't it? Or wait, is it, wait, is today Thursday or Friday? Wait, oh, today actually is Friday. Oh, it is Friday. Okay, fair enough. Learn something new every day. I thought today was Thursday for some reason. Okay, then I understand the whole market run up. Okay, then I get it. Okay, thank you so much to what you got on Mo for the 2 months. Thank you so much to what you got on Mo. Appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, okay, let's see what's happening. So queen d1 takes bishop c3, bishop f5, rook c4, and the show goes on. Yeah, the deal isn't done, and the idea that Magnus would swing his weight to get someone banned is kind of absurd. Yeah, I mean, they're like, again, I mean, I know the conspiracy theorists want to assume that like I think they want to assume that like either Magnus or I can literally run chess.com or tell them what to do, but we don't. So yeah, the way Hans is so defensive in his interview and on his tweet is very suspicious. Looks like a sore subject being attacked. I mean, I'm not some like body language expert or psychologist or anything, so who knows. They're the same people who think the moon landing was staged. Okay, yeah. All right, anyway, we'll get bishop f5 and rook c4 very, very soon. I think this game is probably going to draw very, very soon. I don't really expect much else to happen. Whoa, thank you so much to Badger Lock for the 5 gifted subs. Big shout out to Badger Lock, thank you for the 5 gifted once again. For everybody who's just tuning in, very soon in about 11 minutes we will have Mr. Daniel Naroditsky himself joining us via Zoom. So we'll be talking to Daniel probably 30 minutes to an hour. I'm kind of curious what his general thoughts are on the whole situation. Now he's actually gone into more details. He I think said on a stream something along the lines of that it would not be super hard to do things. So I'm kind of curious to get his general take. The moon landing was filmed by Stanley Kubrick. Thank you guys. Am I planning on creating non-chess related content broaden your audience? Yes, we have a Thursday night football starting next week. So we'll have Thursday night football for the next couple of weeks. My first guest will be Mr. Daniel Wrench, the chief the CCO of chess.com. We're going to keep it pretty football centered, so we're going to have him on next Thursday for the Browns versus the Steelers, covering the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah, we're doing stuff. We do watch parties. I don't know when we're doing Lord of the Rings next. Thank you so much, Middle of the Lista, for the 22nd key mass for the Prime. Might do Genshin pretty soon, but we'll see. I've done a lot of variety the last couple of months. So anyway, and yes, as far as Danny joining me for will he be the chief football officer? Good one. But yeah, no, I won't. Yeah, you can buy earbuds a few mm in diameter, pretty easy to do something. Just make sure your hair is long. Okay, I don't like what you're insinuating there, but long hair. Okay. Andrew Tang's tweets, he had a lot to say about online chess in general. Okay. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you so much to Laird James for the 22 months. Thank you so much to Laird James. Long hair. Yeah. I mean, what are you saying, dude? What are you saying? Okay. Yeah. Have I ever followed Formula 1? I have followed a little bit. Yeah. But anyway, we're just chilling, you guys. Just chilling right now. Very, very slow. Somehow it just seems super slow. I guess King G apparently, see, what I was saying before is actually true. If you look at this game already, computer says 0.8. So already, like, this is one of the tough things about chess, is that if your preparation gets really deep and one player's better prepared and you don't know what to do, if you don't know what to do, or there are no like beads or anything like that, you can blunder right away. Like Alireza here just makes a blunder. Like Castle's just a blunder. Apparently after King G2, White's just much better here. Thank you so much to Chips for the Prime. That's why it's very tough. It's very, very hard. You need to be very careful when you're analyzing opening lines with computers, because if you play one wrong move, like computer could say it's like completely zeros, like here Black's probably supposed to be completely fine, but you play one wrong move and just like that, it's very bad. Oh, engine set. So wait, if Castles is best, then what do you do wrong? Oh, Queen D4 is apparently wrong, although he played it fast. Apparently Rook C8 is best. Yeah, see, this is another example. This is why, again, if you prep opening lines, you got to be careful, because here to a human, if you don't know that Rook C8 is the move, it's like, how do you play Rook C8 here? You just hang a pawn. Like, it makes no sense hanging the pawn. But of course, after Queen takes A2, it's zeros, even though this looks terribly scary. Yeah, because you just go here and you just block, and nobody cares at all. Even though Bishop D6 looks horribly scary, but apparently after Queen A5, of course you can just go Queen D8. Yeah, it's typical computer play. Yeah, I mean, this, as a human, if you don't see it, you're just like, it's like, oh, OMG, like I'm just getting mated every which way, everything is weak. And so Queen D4 is a very human move here, very logical move. But apparently it's just a mistake, is what it would seem. And 95 wasn't right either, so let's see. Interesting that Dominguez played Bishop E2 so quickly though. So clearly Lenny is well prepared, and I guess he's looked at this so far. I think it's a youngish fish for the 7 months. Appreciate it. Now, one of the reasons it's not crazy actually to look at this line super deep, because I know that the people they're gonna be people who say, well, like, how can Lenny be prepared to like move 26 in this line? Like, I mean, doesn't that imply everyone can be? And yes, they can be, but in a line like this, it's extremely forcing. Like this whole line with knight f5, Black really only has one way to equalize, and pretty much all these moves are only moves up until here. So you're already at move 22, so your real analysis of like multiple lines begins around this point if you get here. So let's see. Daniel will be joining in about 5 minutes, so yeah, so I guess it's a good time for me. I will take a I guess I'll take my first break and we'll be back in 1 second, and we should have Mr. Daniel Naroditsky joining us, so I'll be back in a few, you guys. All right, you guys, we are back. So okay, just got on as our confirmed time for the guests will appear. The guests will be appearing probably within the next couple of minutes. We'll have Daniel joining us. So it's gonna be fun. So I look so useful. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Planning on watching the Soccer World Cup in 2022 in November. Probably, yeah. But again, it's still a ways off. But yeah, we'll have Daniel joining us very soon. But in the meantime, just one last quick cursory look. Like I said, we're getting exactly what I mean. This game's going to be drawn very soon. Literally, this is all known. So yeah, there's a video on Daniel discussing a stream of Ukrainian chess coach analyzing Hans's games with advanced algorithms. He found lots of instances of cheating in critical positions. Don't know if you know about that. Unfortunately, it's in Russian. I wouldn't know about that. No, I mean, I guess I can ask Daniel when he joins. Wait, did you what just okay yeah. Anyway, actually, Riviera Maya is a nice place. It's near Cancun. Yeah, I don't speak Russian. Disappointing. Welcome to the world we live in. Sorry, you guys. What can I say? Okay, so Danny said he's joining in too. So all right, you guys, get ready. Afternoon, Hikaru. Do you think Wesley hangs on in this tournament? What do you mean? I think Wesley probably wins. Yeah. But anyway, there are a couple of other GMs saying the opposite. All right. Squash beef. There never was beef. I think, you know, I think what I would say, if you guys are referring to the Charlie thing, just one last little thing about that. I mean, obviously at the time I was kind of annoyed by it, but the fact is it was just unfortunate that XQC was unwilling to like actually study the openings. And what Daniel told Charlie, that is just a normal line against the Scotch. So it's just a normal line. It's unfortunate seeing it, but you know, at the end of the day, it's XQC's fault that he was unwilling to like study even a little bit. So yeah. GM Raphael Latal said his own analysis shows Hans played no engine. It's not again, I think I think this needs to be stressed because a lot of people seem to not understand one critical point. I think most of the stuff has nothing to do with the Sinquefield Cup specifically. It has to do with the fact that the rating rise at the age of 17 and how fast it's been. I don't think that's happened before. I mean, it's happened with kids who are a little bit younger, like 14, 15-ish, but to at 17 to have this rapid gap suddenly out of nowhere, I don't think it's something that's common. Okay, we get e6 here, so takes and bishop b3. But then why would Magnus choose this moment? It's all about the rating. I actually have a theory about that as well, but Dania is joining us, so let me get ready. Let me change my cam. Okay, let me change. Give me 1 second. Turn on my cam. You'll still hear me, of course, but yeah, there we go. So you still hear me. I'm gonna be getting ready. I'll change the scene in a second once Dania joins, but yeah, so it's all good. Let me stop the music as well, because once Dania joins, yeah, we won't have any music. Wesley has a bye today. That's true. Wesley's probably watching. I think there's Ilya likes cows for the prime. Still a mockery of chess tournament. Let it go, guys. If people don't even like chess, they played chess for content that time because it was very popular. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, is Wesley watching? I don't know if he is, but okay, well Danny's not here, so I guess I'll just leave my cam on for the time being. But anyway, is it possible Magnus is trying to bait you? Well, let me say one thing on that, because people do need to use common sense at times. Like, think about this from Magnus's perspective. If this was not the case, Magnus would have said something. Everything is out there now. Like, okay, Daniel's here, so let me turn on my cam. But everything is out there. If Magnus really did not believe this, you guys, he would have said something by now. So let me just admit Danny's the room. Give me 1 second, you guys. You there?
Hey, Hikaru.
Hey, how's it going?
Going great, thank you.
Okay.
Let me just adjust my camera, and then I'll be all set.
It's all good.
All right, yeah, sorry, my main camera is not working for some reason, so I'm using my webcam. I hope this view is okay.
Yeah. It's all good. Let me just crop you just a touch. All good. Cool. So, you did a stream last night, right?
Yeah, I was in St. Louis for a day on like totally unrelated stuff, and then I did a stream from there. I did a stream last night.
So I guess the first question is, I want to ask you, do you think that Magnus withdrawing could have been anything else than what has been swirling over the last couple of days, ever since that, I guess now we can say, infamous tweet?
I think it's extremely unlikely. I think if we're honest, if it was something like illness, Magnus would understand how people are perceiving his withdrawal, so he would have clarified it. I think the chances, they're never 0.0, but they're vanishingly low. I think it's pretty safe to assume that. Okay, fair enough. So I mean, I'm trying to figure out like exactly what to ask. I think there was this thing that I think you mentioned in a clip about how it's not super hard potentially to cheat as well, right? Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. I talked about that a little bit a couple of times. So over the board cheating, I think a lot of people, and I can, by the way, I think some people in the chat are saying I'm quiet. I can raise my volume a little bit.
Sure. I can also up the volume too as well. Yeah.
Okay. It should be better. But I've been talking about this for a while now. Over the board cheating, I think a lot of people who are new to chess or who come to chess through Twitch, let's say, do not realize that over the board cheating is possible at all. So a lot of people's first reactions when they hear about over the board cheating is like, how is that even physically possible? What are you saying? Stop making random, statements. But in reality, over the board cheating is possible and has been going on for decades now. It's not an exaggeration to say that it's been around since the 90s. I mean, using technology, of course, not like another player telling you the move.
Right, of course. I mean, I think also, are you aware of that incident with Sebastian Feller, the French player, by any chance?
Yeah, I haven't heard all of the details. Was it another GM who was like, had developed some sort of code through which he was transmitting the moves. Is that what was happening there?
So I think what happened is that basically the team captain, I don't know if he was standing behind the player on the opposing team, but I think he would stand behind and there was some kind of very advanced signaling method. And it's kind of crazy too, because I know at the time Peter Heine Nielsen, who's currently Magnus second, he wrote an article saying that he thought nothing was happening. And Laurent Fresnay, who was playing on the board next to his teammate for the French team, he also didn't even know it was going on, but it was happening. So I guess I think that provides some context for people who are wondering about whether it's possible.
Yeah, and the thing about like high profile tournaments is that I think if you put your mind to it, with the way technology has progressed, you cannot discount the possibility. I feel like the road to failure is that overconfidence where you say, I'm doing this, this, and this, therefore it is physically impossible to cheat. I remember I had a game in the final round of a pretty important tournament. This was an open, so obviously there weren't metal detectors or anything, but I was playing a guy who needed to beat me to get a GM norm, and he was playing black against me, so I was like, I'm not letting this happen.
Right, you just play solid, yeah.
I played solid, so he's like 2380 feet, and he totally kills me.
Okay.
But what the interesting thing was that he came 30 minutes late to the board. He was like completely disheveled. I had a voice in my head that was like, all right, this is going to be easy. Then there was a weird person who came to the playing hall and was standing over our board for literally the entire game. I sniffed something out immediately. So I immediately went to the TD. I'm like, something's going on here. I can feel it. But they basically laughed me off. They're like, stop being, the implication is that I just can't accept the fact that I'm losing, which was completely not on my mind at all. So they never ended up following up. But apparently, I later found out that the spectator who was standing over our board had a phone on him, which was illegal in the tournament hall. And they never ended up inspecting his phone. So I got really, really angry. But the bottom line is that over-the-board cheating needs to be taken seriously. And people need to realize that it's not just a bunch of GMs trying to, stir up some sort of false, the idea that there's a false danger. This really is something that needs to be taken seriously. That's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I think, obviously, if we presume this is what's happening with Magnus, it seems very clear, at least from the security measures that were added as soon as he dropped out, that it is something that's far more serious than people realize. Because I do get the sense, at least with online, everybody feels like, well, online cheating, it happens here or there, but over the board, God forbid, it's not possible, or it doesn't happen at all, for sure.
Yeah, as I was discussing yesterday on my stream, there's obviously a barrier to entry for over the board cheating. Nobody disputes that OTB is a lot more serious, and B, a lot harder to achieve, maybe exceedingly hard to achieve in a tournament like this. But I think it's fair to say whichever side somebody is on, and if, let's say, somebody has a track record of cheating online, I was making the point on my stream yesterday that, in my opinion, it's totally fair to request that person is ready to submit themselves to a more stringent search than, let's say, somebody who's never been caught cheating online. Like, I feel like that statement's pretty uncontroversial, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I guess, the question also, though, is that then you have to have some sort of agreement, though, right? Because, it's very tricky, because all the online sites, I don't believe they have any agreements with FIDE at all at the moment, like chess.com or Lichess or anything of that nature. But, then you have to share, I guess you have to share info with FIDE or organizers in some method, probably.
Ideally, I think that would be the best path forward, is for there to be, clear communication between the main online servers and FIDE. Especially since online chess is now fully respected and acknowledged as almost, as a full-fledged form of the game. There's a lot of money in online chess. So I think we've gotten to the point where cheating in money tournaments online is a really, really serious offense that should be taken seriously and, transmitted to FIDE. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, there's the obvious example, which was public, but nothing happened, of course, with Tigran Petrosian, where he was banned off of chess.com for I believe it was the Pro Chess League, or maybe Pro Chess League, I think is what it was. But then he did show up and play in the World Rapid and Blitz that I think 1 year later, despite it being very, very public and very out there.
Yeah, I guess that leads to the question of what should the punishment, let's say, be for online cheating. And that's where I think you get into the question of online cheating, or cheating in general, being a spectrum, right? It's Nobody's denying that cheating once when you're like 9 years old and in a meaningless game is very much quite different from cheating prolifically, dozens of times in money tournaments. I don't think anybody's saying those two things are the same, which is why I think in this case it is very important to establish the truth on Hans's online record, which will give us then more information about how to proceed in the context of over the board.
Yeah, I would. I would definitely agree with that. Like another question I was going to say is like, obviously everybody is innocent until proven guilty. That of course is the gold standard. But the question is, if it's sort of like people seem to believe that Magnus is quitting because probably he suspects something in his game. Do you think it's something like that, or something that's more like it's the rapid rise combined with potentially his online stuff that I think was already fairly well known before that? I mean, do you think it's just about like one game, or do you think it's probably something more nuanced?
I think it's a little more nuanced. I think, first of all, if Magnus had hard evidence or he was suspecting something specific, he would have probably vocalized that by now. He would have made that clear. So I think for Magnus, my guess would be that it was the accumulation of things, the rapid rise, and maybe he suspected something about Hans's online chess. So I think it was an accumulation of factors, which is not a value judgment on whether Magnus did the right thing or not, but I think it was a combination of things, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I generally do feel the same way. I think that rating rise, I mean, I know a lot of people try to do comparisons, but certainly at the age of 17, it is very, very impressive. I think it's 230 points or something in less than 2 full years. So probably it's a combination of that. Like I said myself, I've said this on my stream too, there have been rumors swirling for quite a long time as well. I find it hard to believe that Magnus hadn't heard something prior to this event. And I think also the other thing is, as we know, and obviously, I mean, I people who watch my stream certainly have said this. I'm sure this has happened on stream. You can get suspicious of someone over one game. Obviously, that does happen, but it's very rare that you sort of hear things from multiple sources. It's not just like one person being salty over a game, or like two people, things like that. It feels like you hear this rumor. I feel like has been heard from a lot of people, unlike almost any other case that I can think of.
Yeah, and I guess it's important to clarify that, like, even if somebody cheated in every online game that they have ever played in their life, that still does not prove like over the board cheating. It still does not give somebody the license to claim beyond a shadow of doubt that they've cheated over the board.
Right.
But again, I think it's a fair ask for somebody who has a record of cheating in important online tournaments to be scrutinized more carefully. Right. And in some cases, nobody has to explain themselves. It's a free country. You can say whatever the heck you want, or not say whatever the heck you want. But we also should not forget that invites are at the discretion of the organizer. So the point I made yesterday on my stream is that I think it would be a fair request from organizers, let's say for somebody who has had a record of online cheating, to be scrutinized, to agree to be scrutinized more carefully, and to explain themselves in certain cases. If they want to, receive invites consistently to top tournaments. I don't feel like that's a really controversial statement.
No, I agree. I wonder then, do you think like organizers should basically potentially just ask the sites whether something has happened or not happened?
Yeah, that's to come back to our initial point. That's why I think it's so important to have that communication. Because also we should remember that cheating is a very corrosive thing, in that it's human nature that when you've heard that someone has cheated, you just automatically become more suspicious of them in every game.
Right.
And Hikaru, I think some people might get angry at that, like, oh, is that a personal attack? Like, no, that's just human nature. Like, we play so many different people and we assume that they're honest, but if we know that somebody has had a shoddy track record, it sometimes becomes harder to play because you keep having these thoughts that swirl in your mind when they make a certain move.
Right.
Which is why it's so important to allay the concerns of top players, make sure that they're playing in an environment where they feel comfortable with all of the other participants.
I mean, I guess what do you think can be done differently to like what precautions can, like on site? I mean, more than anything else. I mean, because obviously organizers can ask, but do you think like just like the, I guess, metal wanding is enough? Do you think they're like obviously we have all of these silly jokes, of course, about playing naked and things like that, but I mean, do you think like what's going on right now is adequate? Do you think like 15-minute delay is enough? Do you think it should be more or less? What do you think about all of these things?
In terms of the delay, I think 30 might be a good amount of time, because it occurred to me that with a 15-minute delay, somebody could potentially like wait for the broadcast to catch up and take 15 minutes on a move. But I like the idea of the delay. I think the delay is kind of a no-brainer. What do you think about that specifically?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think one thing that we haven't touched on yet is also like when it comes to these sorts of things, I think a lot of people don't realize that at the top level, if you're a very strong player, and I think Magnus said this in one of his recent interviews, I think he said something like he needed one move or maybe two moves in every game, and if he had that, he would win every single game. I believe he said that.
Totally accurate.
So like that's the thing also, is that again, when people wonder about the 15 versus 30, it is true. Like I would say in a game, they're probably like maybe if it's a really chaotic game, maybe like 4 to 5 super critical moments, but generally I feel like it's 2 to 3 for the most part.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem, right? Because then the barrier to entry shrinks. Like you know, somebody could be a strong player to begin with. That is still a point that I think is not made enough. The fact that, yeah, like you're saying, 3-4 critical moments and you basically become unstoppable. That's like Steph Curry, you know, who I'm a big fan of. That's like if you could shoot a basketball and at 3 points in the game, you could guarantee that the ball goes in the net.
Right.
Like
right.
You're basically going to win. A good team is going to basically win every game if they can like ensure that certain shots go into the net.
Mm-hmm.
Same with ensuring that certain moves are going to be the correct moves in critical moments. In terms of your initial question, are the measures enough? I'm inclined to say not fully, especially given that St. Louis, let's be real, has unlimited resources, right? They can invest however much they want in whatever technology they want.
True.
And I still feel like a lot of organizers treat this issue with a lot of naivety. I think it should never turn into a situation where players are treated with suspicion. You know, they're treated like they're going to an airport.
Right.
But I feel like there are elegant ways to invest in technology that's A, not that intrusive, and B, checks very thoroughly for stuff like earpieces and hidden cameras, and computers nowadays can be tiny and hidden in any other object. And we should stop pretending that that's just straight out of some science fiction movie, and we should take those things seriously, I think. And I don't see anything, again, objectionable in that statement.
Yeah, that sounds very good. I do have one, like, but then like the really, and this maybe is a depressing thing to ask, but but then there also are problems if it doesn't occur in top level events, because obviously, as we know, with top level events which have very big prize funds, like the event in St. Louis, which is 350,000, I think it is, just your casual weekend tournament, certainly you could end up in situations where it's tough, put it
it's not practical, I guess, to implement this in opens.
Mm-hmm. But you do think like in St. Louis specifically, this tournament, they can do more than what they're doing?
I would be inclined to say yes. Now that kind of makes me an armchair quarterback.
Right.
But I don't know exactly what those things could be, but I know there's a lot of technology out there. I was talking to a friend, actually. He's 1700. He's a college friend. He's a big computer science guy now. So he knows a thing or two about like security. And he mentioned a device. They might have already had that device, but it basically sniffs out packets, I think they're called, that go out of a certain playing area. So it basically scans universally for any type of signal. I'm probably speaking like a fool right now because I don't know much about this, but I think people can get the gist of it. So something like that could really go a long way.
I think Chad is saying something like Wireshark or something. I don't know what that is, but something like that. I think, yeah.
I'm looking that up right now.
But no, yep. I mean, but I get the point though. Certainly, it's like, at certain critical moments. Again, I mean, I feel like this is very serious though, because of course, if you're talking about very limited instances, obviously with online, I think one of the things that generally gives it away when someone weaker does it is like you see the best move every single move. You see like 20 best moves from someone who's rated like 2300. I mean, not even Gary Kasparov can do that. Kasparov, Magnus, everybody else. Like we can't play the 20 best moves in a row. But certainly, if it's only a couple of moves, then yeah, it's very very difficult to catch.
Yeah, I think in terms of like open tournaments or tournaments with less security, at some point they started banning phones in the playing hall. But I've always advocated that the punishment for over the board cheating should be like the model that was used for littering outside, right? You can't catch every instance of somebody throwing something out of their car window. But if you raise the punishment, and if you make the punishment, really strict, then it disincentivizes people from littering, because that if you're the 1 in 1,000 that gets caught, why don't I just like not throw the cigarette out of the window? And I think something similar could be adopted in over-the-board chess, and perhaps even in online chess. I think it should be disincentivized to the point where people realize that if they get caught, cheating, just, let's say online in a high-profile tournament, it just makes it hard to
play. Period.
To keep your career going.
Yeah. So I actually want to ask you a question, because I mean, we played this game in the US Championship, as you remember. I'm sure. I think actually we played twice, but I was referring to the one in 2015. We had this game in the Dragon, and as you know, basically you out prepped me. I don't know if you see my stream, or if you happen to have a board handy, but we got to like a critical position, and I think somewhere around this move 14 after bishop g5, I basically realized that I didn't know exactly what I was doing. You tricked me with the move order. Yeah, so I sacked this exchange. I'm kind of curious, like, in a game like this, for example, how many moves, like around this point where I sacked the exchange and played a5, do you think you would have had to like know what the best move was in order to just beat me and prove, because it's like plus 1.4 roughly? That's
a great question. Yeah, I think really if I had maybe two consecutive moves here, I would have had good, because I think there was or maybe a few more, because I'd get a winning position, then you'd get out of it and beat me.
Okay, but I mean for the sake of the example,
for the sake of the conversation, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think there was this idea, I don't remember what it was, that was a little bit unconventional here, that basically led to a nearly winning position, but I don't remember what it was. I think I played a3. Yeah,
and apparently computer says a. I guess it says a4, and it's just very straightforward. Like rook c8, and you go rook e1, and probably just f4 e5.
Right. Actually, so if I knew a4 and rook he1, I think I could probably put the rest together. Right. So almost nothing, like 2 moments, and
and you
totally changes the trajectory of the game.
Right. Yeah.
Instead, I started going knight e2 and back to d4.
Right. So basically, but yes, if you knew, like, if you knew those 2 moves, you almost certainly could put it together, because obviously there's no other real idea that makes sense in this position. I mean, if you don't play f4, what are you even playing here? So it's just knowing to play like rook he1, f4 and e5, and that's it basically. So yeah, maybe there's still tricks, but objectively it's very, very simplified for sure.
Yeah, and that's also why I always get annoyed at tournaments when I see people like talking to each other. I'll come up to people and shake their hands, like, how are you? But if I see people having a prolonged conversation, I'm admittedly pretty paranoid at tournaments. Like, I'm just going to be totally honest and say that I notice anything a little bit out of the ordinary, and I'm already kind of on edge, precisely because even a 23-2400 player, give him 4 or 5 moments in a game, and boom. In most tournaments, it's still very practical to go to the bathroom with your phone. It still is very easy to accomplish in the vast majority of open tournaments, right?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played most of the open events in a while, but like actually back when obviously back when I was a different time, like 10, 12 years ago. But certainly when I think about events like the World Open, of course, there was no monitoring anything, so it was very, very easy. So yeah, it's a tough situation for sure. I guess like to move beyond all this. So do you have any general thoughts on the tournament and what's kind of going on?
You mean specifically to?
Well, I guess like, do you think? I mean, I guess let me ask this: do you think like the players? I guess, do you think the players are playing their best chess? Do you feel like the players are just kind of in this weird sort of situation where it's kind of difficult to be inspired?
It does seem like it's difficult to be inspired. I'm getting the sense there are a lot of pretty quick draws, and I don't think it's necessarily because the players, think anything. I think it's just that this has kind of overshadowed the games themselves. Right. Which is sad on the one hand, but on the other hand, it makes sense that it has. This is just what tends to happen when you have a pretty big conflict like this. But I do get the sense that the players just seem to be pretty jaded from it all, and hoping for a resolution. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I definitely, from seeing the games, it doesn't seem inspired. Like I felt like the last game that really seemed good was that game between Fabiano and MVL, which was on the day when everything kind of blew up. Of course, I think they didn't know anything about what was going on. But yeah, it just feels like everyone's kind of going through the motions, and they're playing here or there, but just not not really that into it. Like already today we had one quick draw, the game between Shahryar and Jan, which was just all theory. It looks like Fabiano and Lev are, I mean, I guess this game could get interesting a little bit potentially, but it also feels like it feels like White's somehow going to probably take on a6, go like rook g4, and I mean, I guess that probably Fabiano gets the pawn to a6, and some point Black plays like a bishop g1 and sacks is my guess. But I feel like it most likely, I mean, computer doesn't actually think computer actually really likes Black, but I feel like something like that's going to happen probably in this game.
Yeah, although it could get dangerous, I guess, for White if Black has 3 passers at some point. Right,
exactly. Yeah, and I guess Lenier's game, this is I don't know what's going on in this one. Well, how do you actually, I was going to ask you a separate question as well. So it's like one thing that I think you've probably noticed, and I know you've written books on like endgames and things of this nature, is what do you think of the assessment of like rook and one pawn or rook and 2 for a knight and bishop? Like, I'm assuming that when you were growing up and you're learning chess, you probably preferred having the knight and bishop a lot more than like a rook and a pawn, I'm guessing.
Yeah, although I started realizing that like very often endgames are clearly delineated between positions where you have just bishop knight against rook, which are often very good for the rook, and if you add another pair of rooks, then the landscape changes completely and the 2 pieces are favored. I feel like as I get older, I like the 2 pieces. So in this position, if I had to say a side I prefer without looking at the engine evaluation, it's definitely White. But a lot of people would look at the ruined pawn structure and just assume Black is better. But that's very, very deceptive.
Yeah, so like because I've always actually preferred like the knight and bishop to the rook. There are many instances of that, but I feel like somehow the computer generally it prefers the rook, and it shows like why the rook is better for the most part. But I feel like as humans, it's always much easier to play with the bishop and knight instead of the rook.
Plus, when they coordinate, they're kind of be held to pay. Black's king is probably weaker than White's king here. White's king could just chill on g2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if White can get king g2 and knight e3 with rook d1 or rook b1, I think it's going to be very hard for Black to defend this, unless you get some queen c3 somewhere. Yeah,
definitely Black would be, Black would kill for a queen trade here.
Right.
Queen d3 seems to be the engine move, aiming for g6.
Then after king g7, h4. Wow,
h4, open it up that way. Interesting.
Yeah, that's very, very kind of unusual, because to me it seemed like I thought the idea would be to play like knight e3, king g2, like maybe basically like after rook c8, knight e3, I don't know, like d5, king g2, and then at some point knight g4 or h4. But I guess already here after king g2 there's queen c3.
Queen c3, yeah, and you have to, but then queen d1, I guess.
D1. Yeah, I mean it still feels kind of hard to play for Black. Again, a computer obviously says you play, the obvious h5. The very obvious h5 here, of course. Yeah, that's
covering g4.
Yeah, that's completely insane. But yeah, I would say practically I feel like this is a lot easier to play for White, certainly at this
Agreed,
point.
Completely. Hans is worse, I think, in the MBL game.
Yeah, I thought this opening should be pretty dry. Not knight b3. I thought this was supposed to be just dead zeros if Black played this correctly, but something must have gone wrong here. So knight b4, knight c3, knight c6, bishop d2, bishop f5. I feel like this is all theory.
Yeah, still looks very balanced.
And apparently bishop e6 is a mistake here.
Allowing the queen to shift out of d1.
Yeah,
central pressure.
Then again, if knight a b8 is apparently a move, that's very difficult to play. Very, very difficult to play.
Yeah, I guess the idea is eventually just to activate the knight.
Probably, or maybe you're also just asking White, what does White do? Because the queen, how do you bring the rook? You want to bring the rook to d1, but you can't do it. And obviously, if you trade the queens, then there can't be anything there. So I guess it's just like White's kind of stuck. You don't have a good move here.
Yeah, no targets.
Maybe knight d2 and queen b3 is an idea, but still, it doesn't feel very. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's much. But knight b8, of course, very difficult move. So he played bishop e6, e2, bishop f5, bishop e4, and queen d7. Interesting. That's an odd move to me.
Allowing rook d1 with tempo, and then after in the game position,
right? Takes like now knight d5.
White's made
right?
some gains. Knight d5, yeah. And if Black's knight moves, then you take twice on c8.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because of the fork at the end. Yep,
and the knight from d5 can jump back to f4. Like rook f d8, knight f4. I guess queen E4,
yeah.
I mean, I could still see this fizzling out.
Yeah, I mean, computer says rook d3. Seeing this from a distance feels kind of difficult. And also, I think the other thing though is if you're very unsure of what's going on, I think it's very hard to play a move like knight d5 as well. Like if you're a little bit uncomfortable, you know, you've been hearing all this stuff and you're not sure. Like I think knight d5 is a very difficult move to play.
Yeah, you're kind of walking on hot coals,
right? Because okay, so he plays knight d4 instead, which actually I kind of like this too. Small advantage still for white, maybe if everything comes off with the double pawns on f5 and f7.
Yeah, what an annoying move to face. It just takes the life out of black's position somehow.
Right. Yeah. This I actually really like knight d4 because no risk again, and white probably should be slightly better here, but
yeah,
still a long way to go.
No, but for sure this is unpleasant for Hans. But yeah, it does feel like the players just kind of want. The problem, as I said yesterday on my stream, is it's hard to think of a satisfactory resolution to this. I feel like this is bound to drag on for a long time, which is a little bit disturbing.
Right.
But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, I think we both have the same thoughts that there's only one reason Magnus could have done this, and if we assume that's the case, it is very hard to see a resolution that doesn't take time because. Say, for example, if Magnus believes that and he submitted some report or something to FIDE, for example, they have to investigate, which then means it's going to take quite a while. And it's just very hard. Yeah, I just don't see anything that can happen in the next couple of days. I mean, short of Magnus literally saying he stubbed his toe and it's all some big misunderstanding. But, of course, he would have already said something for sure. He would have said something. There's no doubt. So, yeah, I don't know what the resolution is going to be. I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think laying out the facts is important. I mean, right now, the facts that are yet to be seen are, you know, the extent of Hans's online cheating. So I'm sort of fully expecting, hoping for a statement from Hans to that effect.
Right.
I think that in general, people in the chess world are forgiving and they are willing to look past certain things. But at the same time, you know, we have to establish, you know, in terms of understanding whether Magnus had any credibility in doing what he did, I think establishing the extent of Hans's online cheating is very important. It gives us an important source of facts.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I assume we'll hear something, although again, if we don't hear anything, that also kind of there still is no solution in a way. It just means that we know that something happened with Hans on chess.com beyond what he said, but we don't know what that is exactly. So I don't know. It's it is tough. It is tough. Although, you know, actually I did want to say one thing though. And of course people can speculate on this and they will, but one thing that I did find a little bit unusual about it is that, and maybe you've heard the story, but you know, I played Daniil Dubov in one of the Meltwater events. It was like the grand finale, and there was one moment around like move 16 when I just had to go. And so I went to the restroom. It was this like Sveshnikov or whatever. And basically he thought there was something weird there. Now I came back, I played a move that was not the best move. He blundered a few moves later, I won the game, but he basically, I know he had said some stuff to quite a few people privately. He thought there was something wrong. Now Chess24, obviously they went through it, there was nothing there. But when that happened, I did not say anything about that at all. I just like, okay, well, you know, I didn't just prove it, kind of. And so that is one thing that I thought was a little bit odd, I have to say, about the situation. Just a little bit odd.
So you're saying
I'd say that Hans has been very aggressively out there. And when I had the situation with Dubov, for example, like, I mean, I could have just booted up my stream and like just gone right after him. I mean, just said a lot of stuff, and I didn't say anything at all. So I thought perhaps some of the reactions from Hans were a touch unusual.
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely some of the stuff, you know, Hans's behavior after the first two games was. You know, not necessarily to my liking, but you know, on my stream at the same time, I think it's very important to distinguish between, you know, I think for some people they are forming a somewhat unobjective opinion based on the fact that they, you know, feel like Hans, let's say, acted in an unsportsmanlike way. So I think it's important to keep those things separate, but I agree with you that you know, he obviously is very, very vehement, and you know, in order for Hans to be consistent, I think he should definitely clarify the chess.com situation. Because he feels passionately that he's telling the truth, and so he should stick by it. And if he's silent, then then that's kind of weird in and of itself.
Okay,
but I would I think the public perception is right now against Magnus. But do you think that Magnus should come out and say something? Do you think it's like morally incumbent on him?
I don't know what Magnus is supposed to say exactly. I think it's a situation where something feels a little bit off. Who knows what, again, whether it was like that one game, whether some accumulation, whatever it might be. But I think it's very hard for him to, but it's certainly clear though that by not saying anything, that is the reason. That is just the reason. And end of the day. There is no alternative. So I guess maybe that is his statement in a sense. And if he really does think something is off, he can always probably just quietly go and say something to FIDE, or they can investigate and go from there. But I actually don't think we're going to get a statement from him.
That's interesting. Yeah, with every passing day, I think you're more likely that you're right. Yeah, and I see a lot of people in your chat like asking me about Hans's analysis. I talked about that already in St. Louis. Like, I pointed out that there are two indisputable, like, I think red flags is a pretty loaded term, because when I say that, people already assume that I'm saying he's cheating, which I'm absolutely not. But however, whatever word you want that's more palatable than that, two weird things. Obviously the online cheating, and the second thing was the interviews. And I think even Hans would have to admit that, his behavior during the interviews was definitely strange. So that's really the extent of it to me. And, hopefully if both of these things get clarified, then I think we're going to get a lot more clarity in the situation.
Right. No, well said, certainly. I mean, I thought in general terms, one thing about the games is like, we've played a lot of games. There are some positions in Blitz where you just very quickly assess them as winning. I was just a little surprised perhaps that some of those positions that he said were just winning in a Blitz game. I actually do expect that reaction in a Blitz game from someone, but I thought it was a touch odd, like in a classical game where you have so much time to think to try and just come up with that, with saying it's just winning, because obviously what you do normally is you proceed through the line and you actually look beyond that, because you don't just say it's winning. Like Fabiano, I think is a great example, where whenever I've played him and he gets the time control, let's just say Fabiano's beating me on move 41, even if he has that obvious move, he works the whole line out. He just works it all the way through to the end. He's a machine. Well, right. not literally, but yeah. So yeah, I thought maybe that was a bit unusual again, but who knows? Everybody's different as well.
Yeah. I mean, you could make the case, and of course, nobody's saying that you're like obligated to be coherent. Let's say in interviews,
right?
Again, there's no laws here. Like you have to do this, you have to do that. But it was definitely strange. I think that's sort of an objective truth. And I think it's just such a sticky situation. It's such a gray area. There's no hard evidence, and it leads people to speculate. And some people are like, well, you should put a lot of stock into that. Other people are like, you're on a witch hunt. Yeah, to me, it's really tiring, because so many people just get so angry about this,
right?
When in reality, there's just it's just objectively a tough situation.
Yeah, and again, if it's not going to be resolved, so it's probably just going to be hanging over the chess world for the next couple of months as well. And yeah, it's tough. But I mean, who knows? I guess it just remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think the best approach is to keep gathering facts and analyzing them objectively, and we'll see what impact this has on Magnus's reputation, Hans's career. But it's very hard to predict that at the present moment, I think.
Right. Certainly. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I do hope that the one positive out of all of this is that there's some kind of agreement, certainly, because there is no agreement between like VOD, chess.com, all of them. They kind of are doing their own thing. So hopefully there will be some kind of agreement on this. But I don't really see how this can affect Magnus again, unless he makes an actual statement. There's still it's not actually there. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Geez, these last couple of days have just been crazy. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I hope it gets better, certainly, but I don't know. I don't know what to make of the situation right now. And again, I think also compounding the matters when you talk about that, you know, there's that one case with Rouses, for example. This is, of course, has nothing to do with Hans or no implication with that. But with Rouses, I think people were suspicious of him cheating for like 3 or 4 years, for like a long time. People were sure that he was doing it, but nobody could prove it. And then after like 4 years, they caught it. So like the notion of a cloud like this hanging over someone like Hans for many years to come as well, it's just a very tough situation.
No question. And somebody in your chat is asking about I mentioned a video yesterday that was done by a Ukrainian. It's in Russian. It's done by a Ukrainian FM who's sort of an anti-cheating specialist. He puts out videos where he analyzes title players' suspicious tournaments online. And it basically says whether he thinks they were cheating or not. And he has like a bunch of these high-level programs that he uses. He was looking at Hans's performance in a 2017 Title Tuesday. And in that tournament, you know, the cheating was blatant. It was happening every game. And so that's really what leads me to assert that Hans really needs to clarify his perspective on his record. Like he needs to, I think, be very forthright about like how many times he cheated. When was the last time it happened? What were the prize tournaments that it happened in? Because if you're coming clean, I think doing it properly and unconditionally without obscuring the truth is very important.
Right.
Giving people a reason to take your side.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, because obviously he came out with this interview he did, and I mean, everyone's taking it at face value, I think, as they should. But then chess.com comes out with this huge statement, which I think essentially is saying that none of that is true. So I guess we see what Hans says.
Yeah, I mean, I work for chess.com. Obviously, I'm not entirely unbiased, you know that. But even before I worked for them, I've always put a lot of faith in their anti-cheating algorithm. You can confirm this, Hikaru, but tons of people just think it's so easy to develop an algorithm that catches, you know, these crazy cases in many ways, already strong title players cheating. And the fact that it's been as successful as it was is really a testament to how consistently accurate their anti-cheating algorithm is. Is it perfect? Nobody's saying it's perfect, but
no, that's very true. Of course, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's true. Like it's very tough to catch people, and I mean, all those people who work for them, I think they do an amazing job. And even Hans himself, like he did say that, he said chess.com has the best anti-cheating methods.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
we'll see,
right? We'll see. So I don't know if you want to stay here for a little bit more and go over the games. You want to bounce? It's really up to you.
Maybe we can take a look at the current positions and then
sure,
and then I can get going.
So let's see, Dominguez's game. Okay, we have Rook A C8 played. So I guess this is probably the critical moment, right? Actually, this gets back to what we were saying earlier. I think this. You can tell me if you disagree, but I feel like in this game, probably the next 3 to 4 moves, it won't determine like what the actual result is, but the course of the game for sure will be decided. Like either White's going to be much better in pressing, or probably it's going to fizzle out very quickly, is my guess.
Yeah, so I guess Black really wants a queen trade here, right? That's Black's big goal in this position. What if White goes H4 straight away?
Yeah, H4. That does seem like a logical move. I mean, I mean computers. Like I mean, no, but I mean computer. I don't know how computers do it. I mean, it doesn't care. Rook F4, and I guess you don't worry about trading Queen D3, and you have Rook H4. You don't care about Queen G6 or anything else. Like
so HG, let's say knight. Queen D3, Rook H4.
Yeah. Queen G6. I guess just King F8, and it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, when I start checking, you go like I don't know E8 and D7, and you're just fine.
God, engines are totally fearless. Doesn't matter what you throw at them.
Yeah, that's crazy. The more I look at this, I think he'll probably play H4 because for a human, it looks like the way to proceed. Queen D3, I guess somehow Queen D3 to me doesn't feel quite right. Just because King G7, what is the follow up?
Feels a little artificial,
right?
Well, maybe then H4, but I feel like H4 is more flexible to start with.
Yeah, I'd probably leave the queen on D2 also, because also after like Queen D3, you have to worry about things like Rook C1 or something potentially down the road. So
exactly.
Yeah, so I guess this is probably the critical moment. Okay, the other game we got this position with takes Rook D5 knight E4 being played.
Looks like Hans is making steps in the right direction in terms of neutralizing this.
Probably, but Queen D3 and then does knight C3 I guess you take with the rook or the pawn. I'm not sure. Probably you take with the rook. I'm guessing.
Probably, yeah, rook, and then if rook takes, queen takes with check, and black could end up losing the f5 pawn there.
Yeah, this could be, yeah, this could be kind of ugly potentially. Yeah, so probably queen d3, maybe. I mean, obviously, the computer just says, yeah, says just ignore everything with a move like rook c6. Again, not a very logical move.
Wow. I guess the point is just to double on the c file.
Yeah, just double. I guess you're not worried about queen d4 because you can just go f6 and then rook c8, and yeah, now it all looks so obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'd be kind of surprised by that because it definitely feels like to human there's a bit of a pressure here. Feels like there's a bit of there's a bit of pressure.
Significant. Queen f6 seems a little more human to me.
Yeah, yeah. Queen f6 actually makes a lot of sense, right? And then, I mean, computer likes queen I guess already here it's like it hinges on every move. Either Hans finds a couple of moves and it's only slightly better for white. I mean, if he finds the best moves, I think Maxime probably will end up this will fizzle out quickly. If he doesn't, I think he's in for a long struggling endgame probably.
Yeah, kind of a similar arc to Hans's yesterday's game against Wesley in that difficult to defend endgame. But these top guys are they're so good at squeezing out like 0.4, 0.5 advantages. I don't know how you guys do it. I feel like every time we get a position like this, it's equal in 2 moves.
Yeah, but I think you know a large part of what it is. And I think it's actually one of the reasons you do so well against us in Blitz is that I think that when you're at the top levels, you're trying very hard to get these small edges where there's like really there's no risk, I guess is a bit way of putting it. And so like when I play against you or when you play against these other top guys, I think we're so used to like the no risk that even if you do some sack that maybe is losing with perfect play, we're not used to that scenario, and so we don't generally respond as well as perhaps we would if we didn't play this style against each other all the time, where it's just
that makes
small
sense.
Edge.
No, that makes total sense. So yeah, we'll see. Next couple of moves will determine a lot, and I guess in the last game,
this is. Yeah, I guess.
Aronian.
I mean, if Aronian has to go rook c8 though, then it's gonna. Then I mean, I think Fabian is fine. I mean, rook g4 looks really dangerous somehow.
So scary, like rook b6.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go to c6, but but I think with b6 there's probably a tempo somewhere. Like
some
rook
sort
b6,
of bishop g1,
maybe or even maybe bishop c7 and just sack on a5 and take g2 as well. Maybe. Yeah, I thought rook c6 made more sense because then rook g2, a6, and yes, bishop g1 is okay, but I don't know.
Wow,
but yeah, I mean, this is bishop c5. This looks really scary, and no human's gonna go for this, I would think.
And then you get the rook and 3, rook versus 3 pawns.
Yeah, and who knows what's going on there. I mean, it's probably a draw if the computer doesn't say that it's like +5, but still, yeah, very 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 hard to very very hard to assess for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we'll see.
Still potential for intrigue, but yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on the games. And hopefully things fizzle out eventually.
Yeah, so thank you once again for joining. I think everybody really enjoyed it. Obviously a lot of people getting more insights and everything, and I mean hopefully I guess we hope that we get some sort of resolution to this, because the thought of having this hanging over everyone for the next month is gonna be unpleasant. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Hikaru. I always appreciate it. It's good to come on, and I just think people need to be calm and understand that we all want like a resolution. There are objective gray areas here, and I'm always going to encourage people on my stream to try to be as unemotional as possible, look at the facts, and go from there. But this was fun, and I hope people enjoyed the discussion. But thanks, Hikaru, appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Okay.
Of course. Have a good rest of your stream.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
All right, you guys, so we're back. Okay, let me put the music on as well. Big shout out to Daniel for joining. Lot of insights, lot of insights for sure. I'm not emotional at all. It's not my prize money. Very funny, Vanguard. Very very funny. Typical. As soon as that ends, it's like, I'm not emotional. It's not my money. Like, unreal. Anyway, yeah. So big shout out to Daniel once again for joining. Lot of good insights on all this stuff. And I do think that Daniel is right. At the end of the day, I think we wait to hear what Hans has to say. I somehow doubt it's going to happen today, regardless of the result in this game. I think it won't happen until after the tournament, but we will see. So big shout out to Daniel once again. Make sure to check out our stream if you haven't already. Twitch.tv/GM Naroditsky. All right, so as Daniel and I were analyzing the games, it still looks it's hard to judge what's going to happen. Every game is at one of these inflection points, or actually not every game, but Dominguez and Ferrugia, very critical moment here after rook a c8. Either either Lenier finds some computerish moves, can get an advantage and prove it, or I think it's going to fizzle out very quickly and be a draw. Maxime, same kind of thing. Hans has to find some good moves. If he finds them, I think this too will fizzle out. If he doesn't, then I think he's going to be suffering. I think he's in for a long day of chest pain. So we'll see what happens here. Fabiano's game, probably a draw is my guess. If I had to be a gambler here, I assume Lev will go rook c8. He'll realize the a pawn is dangerous, and probably what's going to happen at some point, we're going to get the bishop sack for the pawn, maybe. Well, actually, as I look at this also feels kind of, I don't know what to make of this, because a6 is still kind of dangerous. So f6 g5, I guess it's not scary, but you could see it as being scary potentially. You could see it as being scary. I might want to change the stream title. Yeah. Oh, XQC was watching us. Big shout out to Felix. Hope all's good. Hope all's good. So yeah, it's been changed. Okay, fair enough. Okay, Hans, yes, he played rook c6. Okay. Thank you so much to Hank Montana. Thank you to Ebony for the prime. Thank you to Rymac for the prime. A Can of Words for the prime. Death with Twitch for the prime. Thank you to GB Berber for the prime. Thank you so much to King Crucify for the prime, and Nathan F Baker for the prime. Thank you to Andreas for the 11. Blueprints for the 25. Chopper Billy for the 2. Raz LOL for the 9 months. Thank you so much to Leeson. Thank you to Farm Dick. Thank you to Papa CK. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, we should get XQC on. Yeah. Anyway, you guys. Yeah, the carved wood drama. Yeah. Oh, it's a debate. Okay, but yeah. All right. Anyway, why are people turning back to Magnus now? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, you guys. So yeah, it's what it is. Justice for Hans. I mean, it's up to Hans to clarify. Hans has to clarify what's going on. It's just that simple. But we'll see. But we shall see. Anyway. So, all right. Just Chess.com tweet has reversed the eval bar. You know, I know people are here for the popcorn and funny, but it is a very serious thing. I mean, regardless of the implications, even just for this event, for Hans, for Magnus, for everything that's going on, this is a very serious existential problem. And as Daniel's pointing out, in terms of cheating possibilities, it feels like we're heading more and more down that path where it is going to become more and more, where it's going to be more and more possible. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. But yeah. So anyway, thank you so much to Fem Bingle for the 5. It's okay to hack this for the 2. Anyway. So all right. All right. Where were we? Thank you to Jabezis for the prime. Thank you to Ortac for the 24. Leeson for the 3, and Henry Sugar as well for the 27 months. Appreciate it. Yeah. So I heard the whole Daniel discussion as a YouTube video now. There are no VODs. I missed part of it. We'll probably have it up on on YouTube at some point. I'm not sure when exactly. But yeah, okay, what do we have? We have rook c6 waiting for a move here. Yeah, obviously computer likes rook e1, which makes almost no sense. We have a Kasparov tweet. What is the Gary tweet? Let's change the scene. What is this? Oh wait, I actually minimized. I minimize it for the tweet itself. So let me put it back at 100%. Okay, what do we have? We have Gary Kasparov. Wait, apparently Chess.com has banned the young American player who beat Carlsen, which prompted his withdrawal and the cheating allegations. Again, unless Chess World is be dragged down to endless pathetic rumors, clear statements must be made. Wait, what? Am I misunderstanding this tweet from Gary? Is Gary not understanding the chess.com tweet at all? Wait, I'm actually a little bit confused. Oh, there's more to it? Oh, okay. More to it? Yeah, creating favor and factions based on hearsay and cryptic BS is damaging to the game. These players, especially the world champion and company, should realize that. Sponsor and organized don't enjoy the toxic environment as much as social media might. Okay. I feel like Gary's completely missing the point. Or does Gary not understand what chess.com said with the tweet? I'm actually kind of confused. What is... Yeah, I'm actually kind of confused. Maybe I'm just missing something. Yeah. Maybe I'm missing something. Gary just wants a statement. Yeah. Thanks for dad for the $3. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you to Andy H. Dillon for the 13th. Thank you, J. Samuel Steele for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Yeah. But all right, let's get back to the chess. Let's leave it here. Let me change the scene, of course. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Rook D1 played logical move. White creates a legendary triple stack. Great stuff. What can you say? Yeah. No, this is good. Anyway. All right. One second. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, Rook D1, Knight C3, B takes C3 played. And Rook F8, Rook F5, Rook C3, Queen D4. White is quite a bit better here, I think. Maybe actually no, because there's still F6, so maybe it's not much better. Rook F5, Rook C3, Queen D4, F6, and it's hard to actually prove. I mean, I guess Queen G4, but I guess King H8. Black's kind of safe here. So thank you so much for that bad Andre Mar for the 6th. Thank you, Gesture Toy for the sub as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah. Oh no, but actually Rook F5, there's Rook D6 the computer proves, which is just a draw. So this might just fizzle instantly. This probably just fizzles. We'll see. I find it amazing the Han scenario is actually in the Wall Street Journal. That's his mainstream. What do you mean by the Han scenario? Rook C8, Rook F5, Rook D6 is a draw. Queen D4, Queen F6 is probably also... Oh, I guess Queen D4, Queen F6 takes are... Wait, White's better. So maybe if you check what you just go F6 and Queen A7, Queen E2 takes. Black should be fine here. But yeah. But anyway. Okay, let's see what's happening elsewhere. Alirez's game, no more moves after Rook A C8. Fabiano's game, we got Rook C1. I guess the idea is to put the bishop on G1, maybe G5, G4 at some point. Probably a draw. Is Hans banned from chess.com right now? I don't know. I thought they put his account back, but I don't know. No idea. Yeah. After they talked to Hans about it, which it seems like they want to, they should make the claims public. I don't think they can. I'm assuming there's some legal thing, probably. Like, they literally can't say it. But I could be wrong on that. Yeah. Send the raid to Daniel for streams? Yeah, of course I could. Absolutely. So let's see. What's going on? He's showing up as unbanned? Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what the exact situation is. But it is what it is, and we'll wait to see. So okay, so it's Fabiano's move here. Computer likes bishop c3. I would assume for a human, rook b6, rook c6 makes sense. Rook a8 is also logical, but bishop c3 I guess makes sense because you cover a1 and then you have free pass. Like here, the rook can't get behind the pawn. Thank you so much to Quarion for the tier 1. Thank you so much to Quarion. Appreciate it. On the weird Gary tweet, people are going to cheat and are cheating, so just pretending it's impossible and doesn't happen. I don't know. He stated that they shut it down entirely. What did he state that after it or not? I don't have anything to do this weekend. I mean, it's been a crazy week so far. It's been a truly insane week. But yeah, who knows? Thank you so much to Rostig Maskin for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much to Rostig Maskin. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 5 gifted, my man. Thank you. So yeah, it's all good. All good. See what happens. Lenny is again, all the games are pretty dry right now, so I guess we just leave everything where it is. You did nothing wrong, keep doing it. Yeah, I know. I mean, people are gonna get mad at me, and it's part of the nature of being a streamer for sure. That's just how it goes. Thank you so much to Leafy Via for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. I think the Matrix D for the tier 1. Archets received on September 7th its largest number of comments ever. Yeah, I mean, I assume Hans is going to clarify the cheating. You assume he's going to clarify it. So yeah, but anyway, it is what it is. We'll see. More Daniel collabs or get him for some coverage. Yeah. Whoa, thank you so much to Pulsar Jelly for the 5. Yeah, I'd love to do more stuff with Daniel, of course. Problem is Daniel is basically like a vampire though. He's a vampire, and he streams at like the craziest hours of the dead of night, and I'm like I'm in bed. I'm in bed at those hours. So yeah, these are just Wu-Tang for the prime. I mean, I'm long gone. I'm long gone. Yeah. Does Hans have any team, or is he a lone ranger? I haven't heard anything. I mean, I heard stuff from like there's Jacob Agard. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. I think we did some work with him very briefly, but I haven't heard anything about people working with him. And I mean, that actually is kind of crazy too, because when I think about players, like there are plenty of players who've gotten pretty close on their own. Like for me, for example, I think I got to like 2660 2670 ish before I started working with my current trainer about what was it, like 13-14 years ago, I want to say. 13-14 years ago, I want to say. And so that was like 13-14 years ago. And Wesley's another example. Thank you so much, Dr. John Fortune, for the 5. And Wesley also, I think, got fairly close, but like again, I think close to 2700 off of opens before he started working with various people. So we'll see. Yeah, it's just kind of unusual. I teach a lot of openings. I didn't actually really help Hans. I only gave him a basic opening suggestion, which was to try and win with a certain opening. I think it was like an Italian or something like that. We was trying to get to GM, something along those lines. Yeah. All right, what do we have here? We got c4 plates of rook c4. I guess you want to take. I don't really understand what the difference is, but we'll see. Yeah. These are shit animate for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Do I think Magnus will make an official statement? No, I don't think he will, because I think it's what. I mean, with every passing day, there are no good alternatives. There are no other plausible alternatives to what we're thinking. So yeah, I don't know. Has there ever been a week that's controversial for chess? Not really. I mean, this is like really up there. Need a Reggie McBall bag for the 8 months. Thank you so much for Reggie McBall bag. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's never been anything quite like this. So yeah, who knows? But anyway, all right, let's keep going. Hikaru reading the chat means Nirvana achieved. Yeah. So anyway. Where do you think the organized accountability stands in all this? I mean, I get the sense that certainly in terms of like anti-cheating measures, they beefed it up after Magnus withdrew. That's also why I don't see any alternative. I mean, it got beefed up the day that he withdrew. There's no other alternative. I mean, what can it possibly be? Thank you so much, Quiet Guru, for the sub. Arnaud Massessi for the 2 months. I mean, I can't. You guys can tell me if I'm crazy, but I can't think of anything else. Like, I can't think of any other logical explanation. I mean, Magnus would have said something. I mean, think about this from the perspective of Magnus. If this is happening and Magnus doesn't think this is what's going on, what kind of person does that make Magnus if there are all these rumors swirling and he doesn't say anything? If it's like, I don't know, if he just like he stubbed his toe or he got COVID or whatever it is, like that makes Magnus a really, really bad person, like really, really bad. So there's no way that it's unrelated. There's just zero chance in my mind. Is there a chance Magnus went to the tournament's over? He would have said something by now, I think. Then as far as like St. Louis the organizers go, yes. I mean, the fact that Daniel is right when he says this, it feels like there are more things that could that could be done for sure. But we'll see. Breaking news: popular streamer calls world chess champion a bad person. Kappa, exactly. Yeah. But again, we'll see. Again, if Hans is cheated in tournaments with like serious prize money, that's also really, really bad. Really bad. But again, we'll hear what chess.com. I mean, I don't know if we'll hear from chess.com or Hans or whomever, but that is, I mean, that should not be downplayed. I'll be clear on that. Like if that happened in money and he's taking money away from other chess players, professionals, that's really, really bad, and that should not be diminished in any way. Okay, so queen e4 played. I guess white can trade or play like rook g5. Whatever happened to Tal Baron? I mean, I think he had a cheating scandal. I think he obviously was banned for some period of time, I assume, and I think that was it. I don't think he did it again, but who knows? But we'll see. He said in his interview it would be the worst thing he could do. Okay, well, I mean, let's see. I don't know what chess.com means by saying like it's more extensive. Like, I don't actually know what can more extensive mean. No need to speculate, but what more can it mean? Thank you, Austin, for the 23 months. And apparently, this video with the Ukrainian was in Title Tuesday. So, yeah, I don't know. But we'll see. Anyway. See what Maxim does here. He's probably going to trade and just make the draw. That's my guess. So thank you so much to Dorian So for the prime. Thank you so much, Dorian So 1. Appreciate it. Thank you for the resub. Can anyone help me find the Ukrainian thing? I think Dania, it's from his stream, so I mean I think you can probably find it quite easily. But yeah. Anyway, we'll see. I streamed the last few days. I have streamed you guys, but as I've said before on a couple occasions now, Twitch removes the VODs. So Twitch just removes the VODs, and that's that. This is going to be a draw very soon. Thanks for right to rum for the 2 months. Thanks so much for right to rum. Thank you. All right. Anyway, you guys, to everybody who's still watching, hope you're having a fantastic day. 14,000 you guys on this fine Friday afternoon, Friday evening. We've been a weekend. What a week it's been for chess. It's been a very, very long week for everybody. Very, very long week. No, Twitch auto removes VODs actually for everybody now. There's nothing you can do. They just auto remove it. There's just nothing you can do. That's just all there is to it. I enjoyed my stay. Thanks for the stream, but I have to go now. Thank you so much, Rudolph Whipple. Hope you enjoyed your stay, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. I do Reddit React. We didn't do a Reddit React this week. I mean, because everything went insane on Monday. It's just been, I mean, the last couple days have just been nuts. Hans recently won Title Tuesday. I think you mean he won the RCC. Or maybe he won Title Tuesday too. I don't know, but at any rate, we'll see. Thanks so much to Naltron OSU for the 3 months. Thanks so much to Naltron. So thank you so much to Boofus Just a Tip for the 5 months. Thank you so much to Boofus Just a Tip. Yeah, just play a fun game. Yeah, is Reddit the place to get chess news? I don't think so, actually. No. But anyway. Magus at 50% after 3 rounds because he raged. Imagine how many turns he's been at 50% after 3 rounds. A lot of turns. There are many turns where he's had 3 draws. I mean, it doesn't fit Magnus's character. That's the thing. Like Magnus, like I'll give you an example. He lost this horrible game to Yesipenko, the Russian junior, and just played the next game. Tournament continued as usual. Nothing happened. So yeah, I don't know. Thanks so much at JM Redder for the Prime. Thanks so much JM Redder. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. This is the vid, but it's in Russian, so I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, it's in Russian, right? In Russian, I think. Yeah, it's in Russian. Yeah. Have I seen Lex Fridman's clip? I did see Lex Fridman's clip, but anyway, it's a 27-minute video, so I'm not gonna watch it. So yeah, he played horrible in Norway. Chess played horrible in the Olympiad, and so on. Yeah. Just try your best. You speak. Chess is universal. Yep, that is true, you guys. That is very, very true. Indeed.
EGLZGAMING just subscribed.
Yeah, Magus also. Yeah, Magus lost to Pragnananta. Nothing happened there. So yeah, I don't know.
$5 out of Bezos's pocket. Thanks. Let's have knockouts tournament at EDC 2023.
Yay! But we'll see. Perhaps Magus is a little unstable right now. Come on, be serious.
The problem is you need to prove it.
What's this? Another possibility is Magus withdrew for whatever reason, is not making a stand because of Hans reports him after the game and just doesn't care. You guys, Magus, you're talking about the world chess champion. You're talking about someone who's like, I mean, he's gotten so much stuff from so many different people. Like, to think that Magus is that soft that like words are gonna bother him. I mean, come on, be serious. I mean, be serious. Like, you use your brain, you guys. Use your brain. I mean, come on, seriously. Use your brain. Yay! Use your brain. I mean, come on. You think Magus withdraws because of that? Yeah, it's like Magnus, when he loses the game, he gets mad and he gets even. That's what he does. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't like drop out of tournaments or sulk or things like that. GM Benjamin Box said that Neiman has personality problems and can be very compelling and persuasive when speaking. I mean, what is it saying? That's just hearsay, right? That's just hearsay. So yeah. But again, at the end of the day, you know, the thing that you have to look at is like, there was a lot of cheating that happened online apparently. So if there's cheating that happened online, chess.com says it's more than what he's saying. I mean, you're really gonna believe that over the world chess champion, somebody who literally studies chess and games nonstop all the time? I mean, I don't know. Have I watched Extraordinary Attorney Wu? No, I haven't. Yeah. Thanks so much to Barrow for the 3 months. Thanks so much to Barrow. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the resub, man. Thanks so much to everybody for all love and support. You guys are amazing. Hey, objection, hearsay, right? Objection, hearsay. Yeah.
Dab 333 donated $3.
Yeah.
Another possibility is that Magnus withdrew for what.
Thank you so much to Alexandra Froto Dopro for the 2 months as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Him after the game and just doesn't care about what people are saying about Hans.
You can't handle the truth. Is this where we play the Jack Nicholson clip? Yeah. But why are chess.com talking now? I think because Hans basically came out and said like, look, this is what happened. It was 2 times, and he basically came out and said that, and then chess.com is like, wait a second, you're making this up. You're telling people one thing, and this is all that happened, and the reality is much different. That's what it seems like to me. I mean, I don't think there's any ambiguity in their statement whatsoever. I mean, I don't know. So we'll see. Thanks for Django for the Prime. Thanks for Django. Okay, this game's gonna be a draw, I assume, pretty soon. I don't really see anything very exciting happening. Yeah. Thanks for E-Man for the Prime. Thanks for E-Man. Appreciate it. Ambiguity is not the word of the day. The word of the day is tumultuous. Okay, yeah. Thanks for Larrington for the 5 months. Appreciate it. Hans said they gave him 0 information as to why. Wait, I assume that's a debate. Did Hans actually post something somewhere saying that? I mean, they said they sent him an email, so there's no way. No, they said they sent him an email. But anyway, yeah. All right.
Just resubbed for 3 months.
Oh, you're talking about like 2 days ago. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, you guys were talking about 2 days ago. No, now I get it. Now I get it. Yeah.
Ortac 126 just took $5 out of Bezos's pocket. Thanks.
Han should publish the emails and the evidence that chess.com has provided. Well, I mean, but the thing is, like, who knows? I mean, I assume well, nobody knows like what they sent him, like an actual thing. I mean, I don't know. All this talk about Hans, and I'm still in mourning for the queen. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably illegal. Yeah, who knows? It's probably all. Who knows? It might all be illegal. You don't know what the situation is. Hans is moving very fast this game. This game he is playing really fast. Yeah. Hans should sue Hikaru for accent shaming. Yeah, that has nothing to do with the chess. Good one. What are we waiting on? Rook G5 is a move. Rook B7 is a move. Rook B5 is a move. But this game's headed towards a draw. This game's headed towards a draw for sure. The situation is getting weirder by the day. FIDE should come up with a more serious comment on the situation. I mean, who knows? Nobody knows. Is the frustration of this week remind you of how you should have drawn Ding? Wait, what? Oh, you mean if I had drawn, well, if I had drawn Ding, what you mean, butterfly effect? So basically if I had drawn Ding, then Magnus like plays the match or something, or who knows? Who knows? Yeah, it's like the whole timeline, like the simulation, the timeline is different, right? Something like that. Sorry you guys. So yeah, so of course now that's what should actually be on our chess. Like, it's my fault that I didn't draw Ding, so we ended up in the wrong timeline. That's actually, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's yeah. It's all my fault because I didn't draw Ding, so the timeline is messed up.
At GMHikaru, do you think Magnus
will
make an official statement?
And now chess is broken until we fix the timeline. Good one. Yeah. Okay, King F6, so Rook B5 and Rook B7 are the moves here. That's a good one.
Quiet Guru just subscribed.
We are in the wrong timeline. That's the best take. Yeah. Okay, this is just gonna be draw. Rook B7, Rook C3, draw. I mean, next game.
Just subscribed.
Hikaru didn't draw Ding, so now we have to read about anal beads theories. Yep, also true. Yeah. Yeah.
French event created by French streamers.
Okay, this will be a draw. Let's move on. Lenier's game. Oh wow, we got H4, Rook F4. Yeah, we got this. And Queen D3 played by Lenier. Interesting. Oh my gosh, computer like she takes H4. What the heck? And you just ooh, that's pretty dank. Wow, very dank. Yeah, that's very dank. We'll see what happens. Let's move on. What do we have? Fabiano versus Levon. Fabiano using all day here. All day to think. Yeah. Very dank. Somehow I never imagined I would hear that word on this channel. Well, I mean, when the richest person on this planet tweets that, I mean, it's gonna obviously blow up any way you look at it.
928 just resubbed for 3 months.
What, in my time you drew Ding and you're playing on each in the world championship? Yeah, exactly. 2 years ago I started watching your streams. I stuck at 1600. Now I'm about 2000 on chess.com. I'm still learning from the warlord. You, that's awesome, man. It's great to hear. Fantastic. Okay, so what we're waiting on a move here. Lenier versus Ali Reza. GH4 is a tough move to play, but he has got plenty of time, so he'll probably find it. So anyway, the show goes on. Yeah, just we're waiting for moves in all 3 games. Thank you so much to Tinosh Fanboy for the prime. Thank you so much, Tinosh Fanboy. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. On and on we go. Came for the cardwood drama. I mean, basically until there's an interview, and then there's more drama probably, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, you never know, because if there's an interview today, then the drama could like it feel like we're in this we were in that lull for a couple of days. Then chess.com, like, they sent out that tweet last night, and now there's an interview here. Then it's like it's dialed down for a few hours, and then it just goes spiraling out of control again. How long will it go on? I don't think there's any soon. I don't think there's an easy fix. I don't think there's going to be an answer to this for a long time. You don't think Hans has anything? Yeah, maybe from a legal standpoint there might be something like this, because he it sounds like chess.com is basically saying, you did this interview, you lied about what you said, and we can prove it. So yeah, we'll see. But I think Hans is overperforming. I mean, if his rating is 2688, he is overperforming. But that's also how you gain rating points in tournaments. So, like, yeah, it's like, again, any reason to think FIDE has become involved? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? But we'll see. I'm personally a bit tired of topic and just want to get the conclusion. I don't think there's going to be a conclusion. I really don't think there's going to be a conclusion anytime soon. I think it's something that's going to be it's going to be hanging over chess for probably the next month or two. Yeah. Oh wait, the president made a statement. He said to not call Magus a sore loser, or was it not the same guy? I don't think there was a tweet from Dvorkovich, but maybe there was. No, Biden stopped being funny. Thank you so much for Vikes for 38 months. Oh, that was Emil? Oh, what did Emil tweet? If FIDE would be involved, Emil wouldn't do his very silly tweets. Wait, what did Emil say? Wait, what did Emil say? Thanks for Canadian Rock Fan for the 10 months. Thanks for Canadian Rock Fan. Appreciate it. Good content, Hikaru. Oh, that was days ago? Okay, whatever. Okay. Anyway. Oh, he said to not call Magus a sore loser. Oh, right. I think we covered something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Hans's lawyer will dismiss the claims by chess.com statistical nonsense. I mean, you never know. It could be an unprecedented situation. Mill is on Magnus' side in this. No questions asked. He tweeted last night too. Yeah. So Elon is trolling people who tweet about beads. I just saw that. Have you? I mean, yeah. I mean, the best part about the Elon thing is that when he retweeted it, the person changed their username to a unionized Tesla. That's like the best part of that thing. They realized, wait a second, the richest guy in the world tweeted this. I might as well like make a point. That was really funny. Which is why Elon then deleted the tweet, I believe. Super GMs get to where they are because they quit if they lose a game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. So, okay. Thanks for that Vertigo 1 for the Prime. Thanks for Vertigo 1. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Not watching the US Open. I haven't been following it closely. Not for the last like week or so. Anyway. If Magus quit because he simply thinks he got cheated on, I just say it's fair to turn every single other player in the round robin. Well, if you thought that happened and he withdraws, isn't that actually the right thing to do in a sense? Because that means the results get invalidated and he doesn't affect the overall tournament, right? Because the results get annulled. I mean, is annulled the right word? Or basically the results are taken out of play for everybody. But anyway. I mean, he doesn't affect the whole tournament. I mean, like, I don't mean he doesn't, but like the results don't count for anybody is what I mean. But I could be wrong on that. Who knows? Butterfly affects us otherwise. Aha. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Nepo gains. Oh, that's true. Nepo did lose to Magnus in round 1. That's a good point, actually. That's true. Yeah. Okay, let's keep moving. Maxime's game still going. Lenier's game looking very drawish. Probably should be a draw here. But anyway, let's keep going. Queen h6, king e8, queen h4, king d7 probably be played here. What if Magnus got tilted and withdrew because affected at 2900? Come on, be serious. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, can you imagine where would Magnus have been? Where would Magnus have gotten to if he's just like, if he quit because of one game? Like, be serious. Be serious. El Magneto quit chat. Yeah. Kasparov quit at 13 because of a 13-year-old. Not really, but anyway. If nothing is proven, do you think this is good drama for Hans? He's a lot of engagement. I don't think it's good anyway, because there's like I said, the rumors are there. They're not going anywhere. Like the fact is, at the end of the day, like I told you, there was what's his name? There was Rouses. Like, this is an example of like a case where it happened, of course. But like in the case of Rouses, like there were suspicions for like 4 years. People were like convinced he was cheating for 4 years, and they couldn't find anything, but it kept going. Yeah, it's not just rumors. Well, I'm talking about over the board. I'm not talking about online. Online is online it is proven now. But over the board, like there is nothing. There is nothing. But it's still going to be there regardless. Would I believe this Hans story 2 years ago? There are a lot of things in the world that if you had told me 2 years ago they would be the way they are now, I would not have believed. A lot of things. Magnus just want to go party with Tari. You guys are hilarious. You think it's better? You think it's better out in the open? I don't know about that, because the problem is, if you think something is wrong, then how are you going to be? I mean, like there's almost no way psychologically that you can play against him. That's the thing. There's just no way that psychologically that you can play against someone. So no, I mean, of all the people making a lot of these jokes, like I mean, yes, but it is very serious at the same time. All GMs have thought this for years. Yeah, nobody knows. I mean, like I said, I've heard rumors from other people for a long time, but that doesn't make it a fact. Let's see. GH4 Queen H6 is played. King E8 or King F7, or King E7. Has someone cheated against me OTB? I don't think so. I mean, honestly, I don't. Wait, rumors are not facts. Very funny, you guys. Very funny. I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't know. Lexford has been saying he wanted to see me on the podcast. I mean, the problem with all of this is that I know everybody's looking for the clicks and all that other jazz, obviously, but it is a very serious situation. Thanks so much at GWIL for the 5 gifteds.
Gwills5 has gifted 5 subs to viewers.
Next GM, yeah. Wait, sorry, next GM, what? Next GM in a row wrote Magnus doesn't give a flying F for people, and people should respect that. He's a world chess champion. Are there any rumors other than Hans? I haven't heard anything. I don't know. So anyway, maybe privately saying the arbiter is the right way so that Hans could be caught red-handed. Well, you're assuming that something happened, first of all. Secondly, I have a theory that, because I firmly believe this is what Magnus thinks. So if I believe this is what Magnus thinks, if I believe that this is what Magnus thinks, I have a theory that basically he didn't drop out. Like, his tweet was what, 5 minutes before the game. So it was 5 minutes before the game, his tweet. So my guess is that basically he decided, that was his way, is like he decided to withdraw 5 minutes before the game, and that way, like, if he believes that Hans is doing something, then Hans won't have time to, I guess, like not do it. I mean, that is part of another theory that I have, but that doesn't make it a fact, of course. But it would make sense. It would make sense because Magnus had like a whole day to sort of figure out like what's going on. He had a whole, or not going on. He had a whole day to figure out like what he's going to do about the situation. Everyone suddenly can see inside. Magnus said no, nobody can see inside. But it seems very weird to just with. I mean, he announced it what, like 5 minutes before the game. I mean, he did it like 5 minutes before the game. Like, why didn't you just do it like 2 hours before the game? But yeah, anyway. Thank you so much. Why Serpent for the 2 months ago? J Kim for the Prime.
Just took $5 out
So
of
yeah.
pocket. Thanks.
Who do I want to see win the Grand Chester this year? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I assume Wesley's gonna win. Wesley or Ollie Reza will win. Oh, what? I only read half of what message? What message? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Half of what message? What did I read half of? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought completely. Yeah. I missed it. I missed it. Seems disingenuous for a judge people to use the situation for clicks when you're clearly using it for content. I'm a content creator, you guys, at the end of the day. But if I really wanted, for all the people out there who are saying that like, oh, I want the clicks or something and it's only for the clicks, if that was really the case, I can tell you a video that I could make that would get like 5 million views. Like, I could literally go out there, spend a couple $1,000s, buy some of these things and literally make a video on the whole thing, and I'm not doing that, so I really don't want to hear it. Yeah, I could literally go out there, buy some of these things, make a video on it. In fact, I think there was a Russian video some years back between was it Dubov and Kachov, I think is his name, Kachev, however you pronounce it. And there was some video where they basically, I think, played each other, and of course, they and one of them was like had like an earpiece or something, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, this was a fun video, but they did something like that. Yeah, it was Kachov and Dubov, right? Yeah, they did something. Yeah, scout out for your YouTube, right? Yeah. Anyway. I'd watch that video, yeah. Yeah. But I'm not doing that. That's actually the point. That's exactly the point. I'm not making that video. And I could, but I'm not. All right, so waiting for a move here. Maxim's game is still a draw, but still going on. I mean, this is just rook a1, rook a2 forever. Well, actually, white's getting a king to f5. Maybe not so clear. But I think you just wait on g8. Yeah, you just wait on g8 and it's a draw. Although maybe you go king f4, a2, king f5. Wait, actually, wait. There's a little wrinkle here. Wait, there's a little wrinkle. Wait a second. I think it's sort of Philly bits for the prime. Although I guess you just go rook a2. Yeah, you just go rook a2 and then rook a1. Did I decide whether I'm going to 960? I'm still not 100% sure. I would say I'm like 75% sure, but then again, seeing some of these Gary tweets makes me a little bit less likely to go to St. Louis. Let's see, Fabiano versus Levon still going on. See what happens here. Still waiting for a move. The longer Fabiano thinks, the more likely it is that he finds bishop c3. But why isn't Dubov playing this tournament? Dubov was not invited, that's why. Please, no more talk of Hans. I mean, it's hard not to. Was Magnus supposed to play the 960? He was, yeah, he was. Kasparov tweets influencing you? I mean, Gary's playing, so yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but anyway, I did, so yeah. But all right, so rook c1, I guess maybe I shouldn't have said that, but anyway, there's like rook a8, a6, a7 played, so we'll see what happens here. Oh, Gary playing was public knowledge. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was. It is. Okay, never mind. Okay, yeah. No, oh, it's on the website already. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Anyway, all right. New art chess stuff. Yeah. Gary's the only player they specify. Yeah, true. It's on the website as of 20 seconds ago. Yeah. All right. Nothing is public until Hikaru says it. Has art chess taught you nothing? Right. Yeah. But I think Artemiev will break 2760ish. I mean, the thing is, Artemiev actually, like, that's another example of a player who's incredibly strong, and he's got stalled in the 2690 range. I mean, I like Artemiev, for example. Artemiev's like, if you ask me somebody like that I mean, obviously Magnus is a player that you don't want to face the most, but if you ask me one player who I think is like really good at blitz, really dangerous, who's amazing, who I think should be like 2800, I would say Artemiev. For some reason he's stuck in the 2690 range. I mean, it's like 24-25, amazingly talented player, amazingly talented. But somebody's like 2690. So yeah, I mean, crazy. No, Artemiev was like 20. I think he only got 2730. I mean, obviously amazing player, but somehow, yeah, he couldn't keep going up. And I think it's like, maybe he's back over 27. But like, I mean, if there's anybody that I look at who's like, where's Artemiev? Is he? Oh yeah, he's back at 2706. But yeah, if you look at Artemiev, I can't think of anybody else who's like 2700ish who I think like, wow, that guy should be like 2760. I mean, the Indian juniors and Noterbeck and everyone are there too, of course, but I mean like, if I just look at the traditional list, like there's nobody that I see. All the juniors are amazingly good. Like Dayak is Dayak, however you pronounce it, is good. Gukesh, Arjun, of course, amazing. But yeah, if I look at just traditional, like Noterbeck as well, if I look traditionally, like just the normal names on the list, nobody else that I see in that list is like, wow, they should be like 2800. Buddy Pranav, oh, it is Dayak. Okay, I hope Pranav hits 2700. Pranav is a great player. Yeah, Pranav, I mean, I said it before because I played him a lot online in Blitz. If he's not 2600 by the end of the year, I'll be very disappointed in him. He'll get a little note from me about that because he's a great player. He should be 2600. He just hasn't played enough. Hasn't had the opportunities. Do I think Prague will reach 2800? I don't know which junior player will do it. I mean, all the juniors, like Kamer is amazing, Noterbeck's amazing, Gukesh and Arjun are like monsters. Not literally, of course, but yeah, now someone's gonna be like, oh no, you said that they're monsters. Yeah, lawsuit incoming. But anyway, no, they're like really good players, really good players. When I say that they're machines, right? Exactly. Yeah, they're machines, right? Yeah. Anyway, Dayak, I mean, Dayak, I don't know where Dayak's gonna end. He's obviously very good. I see Dayak as somebody who's like, he's got a lot of upside potential, but I don't know about 2800. But anyway, yeah. Kamer just broke 2700. Yeah, very good player as well. And he's got the classical trainings. He's been working with Peter Lecko for like the last couple of years too. Dayak was the #1 player for Romania for all of 4 days, you guys. Yeah. Dayak was the #1 Romanian player for 4 days until Richie Rich changed his federation to Romania today, I think it was. Poor guy, you know, he like worked so hard, gets to 2710, and then Richie just changes his federation. But anyway, all right, we got a7. Yeah, so takes and just h3, and actually easy to draw. Wait a second, so takes h3. I guess you go bishop d4 to create the wooden shield, and h3 rook a1, so you cover. I mean, you can also just go rook g1, but yeah, I think you have to create the wooden shield. If you don't create the wooden shield, I think you're going to lose the game. Yeah, you got to create the wooden shield, like rook a1 and bishop d4, or bishop d4 first. Both moves. Carved wooden shield drama, indeed, you guys, indeed. Wasn't Levon number 1? Levon's not from Romania. I thought Dayak was like 21, but I could be wrong on that. Dayak is he is 20 years old, still fairly young. Still fairly young. Yeah, Fabiano's not going to lose this. Although he could lose if he chooses to play poor endgames and show no technique, like Hikaru Nakamura did against Wesley So in the RCC. If he plays something like Bishop E5, H2 takes, I believe this is a draw, right? This is a draw with Rook A1, but you have to play it right. But Hikaru, or actually no, sorry, Wesley was an F pawn, not a G pawn. But this is a draw, but you have to be careful because the king is cut. No, the game against Wesley was with an F pawn, not a G pawn. So I'm actually kind of wrong. That loss still stings him. Well, I mean, it's annoying because I lost the game. But on the other hand, that meant that I did better in the RCC final the week later. So it's all good. Here's a Landell Clout for the tier 1. Levon had a slow start in his career. Levon had a slow start, but Levon was very prominent and very well known even before he broke out. Levon was the world junior champion. I think everybody who saw us play this, like they knew that he was not going to be a 2550 player. Everybody knew he was going to be like 2650, 2700. Amazingly talented player. I remember playing him on ICC back in the day, and like even playing with some of those events, you knew he was going to be really good. You knew he was going to be very, very good. Don't be harsh. Everybody has bad games. Well, the thing is, I sacrificed that match against Wesley, and then I beat him in the RCC finals the next week. So it's all good. It's all good. Sindarov's great. I mean, all those Uzbekis are amazing. I mean, Sindarov and Noterbeck are, I mean, really, really good players. Really, really good players. But anyway. Okay, we got Bishop. Okay, so Fabiano's going to actually try to show the technique. I think H2. Oh, you can also sack the rook. Oh, I didn't see this. Yeah, you don't have to take on H2. Because if after H2, if you play Rook A1, you actually lose because of Rook G1. I'm going to make a queen or take. Can I invite Wesley to Coach Room? Sometimes it's fun when he came on. Of course I could. Absolutely. Yeah, okay, this will be a draw. Okay, so we have 2 games basically. So actually, I guess this is a draw, right? Because Rook F1. Yeah, this is still a draw. Tinderbeck and the weaker Noterbeck have their own cheating scandals, so hopefully it won't come back to bite them. Really? Oh, we're gonna make a video out of the segment when Daniel joined us, so there'll be a video. Yeah. Anyway, just chilling. We're still having a good time. Hope everybody as well is doing great on this final Friday of the month. Actually, sorry, on the first. Sorry, this second Friday of the month. What's wrong with me? Sorry about that. Thank you so much to Monkus Lou for the prime. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm like final Friday of the month. I'm like, that doesn't quite sound right somehow. Anyway, yeah. On saying with the top players will be 2750, then he will pass you. I literally don't care. It's all good. Sindarov and Yakubov cheated on chess.com. Is that like public info or something? I mean, who said that? I have no idea. Okay, I mean, this is obviously still a draw. Just king G8 and takes and rook F1. I mean, very clean draw. Yeah. He'll still play king G8, of course. Yeah, we're gonna go repetition. Oh, Ukrainian FM said that? Ah, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Yeah. Interesting, based on the FIDE code, it lists withdrawing from a tournament without a valid reason as general misbehavior and open for disciplinary action. Yeah, well, I don't for a second believe that anything's happening with Magnus withdrawing. Thank you to I'm a Langallon for the prime. This is the world champion we're talking about, and I mean, like I said, I don't buy it. There's an XQC clip. I'm not watching XQC clips. Yeah. We get another draw. Dominguez versus Ferrugia. We'll leave it here. This is probably headed for a draw. So I'm going to use the restroom because I guess I'll watch the interviews briefly and we'll see what everybody has to say. But I'll be right back, you guys.
CBRIG just took $5 out of Bezos's pocket, thanks. Love watching the streams. Yay! Oh, Tool Time just took $5 out of Bezos's pocket. Thanks. Go Hikaru.
Thanks so much to O'Toole Time for the 8 months. Thanks so much to O'Toole Time. Thank you also to Seabrick for the 15 and Bro JD for the 100 bits. Wait, he's upset with like apparently XUC base. I don't know what XUC said, but I don't think I want to watch it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all right. Okay. All right. Okay, so this game is probably going to be a draw with King D7, Queen A7. It's about something, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I want to. Levon is looking ill. I hope not. I hope he's okay. XUC clip is a bit inappropriate but funny. Yeah. Yeah, good one. I think we're getting a bunch of quick draws. Like, yeah, we've been live what, like not even 3 hours, right? Yeah, this has been a really short day so far. Yeah, this is gonna be a quick draw too. I mean, wow, nobody wants to play. Nobody wants to play. Yeah, we're getting another draw. All right, guys, so I guess we will hang around for interviews then, eh? Yeah, this is gonna be a draw too. Okay, I guess we will. We'll watch. I guess we will. Aroni didn't look like his usual self in recent interviews. Oh, I hope he's okay. Thank you to Habashi for the 6 months. Thank you so much. Are you allowed to watch the interviews? Yeah, I can. Set your timer to make it 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you guys can tell me when. Now, this is we're just getting an instant draw here too. Oh, Lev is on right now. Wait, so you guys said he's not looking good. Let me pull up Lev. 1 second. Stop the music. I said, yeah.
And it forces black to, pay attention. But I knew that it's a bit passive.
There we go. Okay, let me adjust
I have my play.
We are Jan Nepomniachtchi on the show.
Actually, Lev doesn't look very good. Actually, you're right. He does look a little sick.
Also important. When did you discover this move A5?
When I pressed the space bar.
He's basically saying when he used the computer.
He played this move after Rook D8 check. It seemed that Rook D8 somehow rattled him. And
I think King D3 is not the move. I think A5 is the move.
A5 right away.
Yeah, and black has to, pay a little bit attention. I think first you need to play F6, King F7.
I turn up. It should be good. No,
it's a draw.
It should be good.
I mean, black has enough counterplay. White is not in time to push. But after King D3, I started getting some hopes because I thought, well, my rook gets active. You never know because, well, he has to probably play King C2.
Were you surprised he played King C2? We thought King E4 here in the studio.
But what after Rook E8?
You go back.
But Rook E6 is, you get nervous about this type of thing.
I think at this point he was already nervous after King D3.
Yeah. Because you don't know. I mean, if you take and C5, probably there is enough activity for white, but
still
it's
tricky.
After all.
Yeah, it's tricky to play this.
So in the game he went back, and you didn't repeat. You thought maybe I can start pressing.
Yeah, I knew that there is nothing for black, but I just thought, just to keep some pressure in the game, it's a chance. And after H4, well, the only thing I calculated, after this Rook D4 stuff, that somehow A5, H4, King B3, I'm faster than him. Rook D3, King A4, Rook G3.
Yeah, this is correct. Yeah, it's faster. Yeah, thanks so much to Ryan for the 11 and Andre GYP for the Prime. Thank you so much.
King H7, A6, and Bishop G1. And somehow I'm faster because C5 I have
H3,
A2.
What? Wait.
Sorry, maybe H3.
I like how
Rook A2.
Alejandro's
Rook A2,
analyzing.
yeah.
I can move my cam down.
And then King B3,
down here, I
H3,
guess.
yeah.
H3, and you are promoting your pawn, yes. Yeah, you're promoting your pawn.
Maybe
What is
it's
Alejandro doing?
H3
He's
first.
like...
Somehow it was all working for me, yeah.
H3 and immediately, and then Rook A2.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot to consider.
Yeah, because Rook H8 is impossible. I take A7 and then I take on A3. It's like checkers. And I collect all the pawns.
Show me again.
Like if
A7
white goes Rook H8.
Rook H8 here?
Oh,
Yeah.
Right away?
Yeah.
Takes.
It's like checkers, yeah?
Yeah, Rook A2 takes Bishop
yes.
C5.
I
Yeah.
see it. Rook Bishop A3, covering the A file, takes, but Bishop takes C5.
It's like
And you collect
checkers,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. So it did seem like it got a little dangerous for him, but always
Yeah,
within...
but Rook A6 was a good move. And what I realized is that if I take... well, I have to take on C4, because now Rook G4...
4 is no good?
there is... I mean, he's faster, I think. Now he doesn't need to... Well, he doesn't need to put the king in awkward position.
Right.
King B3,
On
Bishop
A4.
We were trying to
C1.
calculate this. We
Check,
couldn't
check,
figure it
check.
out.
Yeah, probably white's faster,
So how
yeah.
does this go?
I thought he would give a check. King H7 and A6.
Takes.
And takes king.
Whoa, King B3 and white's just faster. Yeah, white's just much faster.
Bishop G1.
What's wrong with 8?
Oh, but C5 or
Seven,
Yeah,
K6?
A7 he can do, yeah.
A7? Yeah.
You have to take it, right? I don't think Rook G3 helps you.
I don't think here it does. And then, well, he's in time with Bishop D6.
Right.
Yeah.
H3, Bishop
that makes
D6. Even
Just not playing C5 at all.
even Rook A1 maybe, no?
Yeah, also. Yeah. This can get tricky.
This can get tricky because he still has a pawn.
Yeah, and then after I take King B3, the issue is I cannot go
Thanks
Rook
for Bantam
C8
for the 39 months. Thanks so much for
because,
Bantam. Appreciate it.
He has Bishop E1.
Ah, that's annoying. And this pawn is...
And if I commit with G5, then, you know, after Bishop C3 or Bishop D2...
It's this 2700
the
analysis
pawns
very
just get
funny.
too loose.
Right.
And the rook is too active. And if I go Rook G4 instead of Rook C1, I think the issue here is Rook C6.
Yes.
And after I
Yeah,
take-
see, this is that game that Daniel and I
can go
analyzed with
A6,
this whole A6, Bishop
G1,
G1, Bishop
Bishop
C5. And it's probably
I think
okay,
it's a
but
go.
it's hard to
Go,
play.
but You're not pushing for a win on this one.
No.
No.
Actually, black is fine
so you
here,
went for
though.
Rook
Black
C1,
is still fine
and he
here.
played Bishop C3, and it's
Obviously, winning
seemed
don't
that
ask questions
King
is very
H7, Rook
funny.
A7 was finally...
Yeah. Yeah, now it seems he gets enough counterplay because my rook is cut.
Right. Well, fascinating theoretical duel for you. It seemed like you were just one move better prepared than Fabi. Is that your feeling?
No, I think he knew that the position is drawn. I think his King D3 was just a bit careless, and then he had to, you know, pay attention not to get in trouble.
Well, but he paid just about enough attention, and a draw, a logical result. Seems like that's going to be the name of the game today. 4 very logical but good draws.
Yeah. I mean, it's an extremely exciting day.
We have some more decisive than others. Well, thank you, Levon, for joining us here in the studio. 2 more games to go.
Thank you, Levon. Thank you for the cheapo. That was very nice.
That was a very, very beautiful cheapo, I have to
beautiful.
say, yes.
Bishop H4.
Levon,
F4,
I don't need to show
E3
variations.
Made my day.
And then F takes E3, E3, F3.
Right.
Actually, queens on the F file, not the E file.
More exciting than that.
Yeah, it sounds like he's a little bit
Have,
sick,
by the
right?
way, a repetition and a draw?
Not yet, no. Alireza is considering
Because-
queen C5 clearly. Yeah, he is trying to figure out... if
Okay,
he wants to
whatever.
play queen
I'll come
C5
back
or
for the
play-
rest of the interviews. The games are over, no? Or is this not over? Oh, no, Alireza's still thinking. I thought this was a draw, but it's not. It's not actually a draw. So I guess we'll leave it here for a second. It's obvious black's an advantage. Not really. Queen c5, queen e4, queen d5, I guess, but it's still the same thing. Or I guess knight e3 is okay too. Yeah. Lev versus Hikaru in the Grand Prix event's pretty epic. It was fun playing Lev. Yeah, it was fun playing him. I think Lev actually health wise, he's had some issues in recent years, unfortunately. Oh, Fabiano's up? Okay, wait. Fabiano's up? Okay, let's listen.
I think pretty much every move is objectively a draw here. And King D3 should be one of them, but then he made it interesting. He played this Rook D4.
Did you know that this move, Rook D8, had to be met with King C2, or did you just start thinking during the game?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I was thinking for quite a while, probably like at least 20 minutes. I'm not sure exactly. And yeah, King E4, Rook E8, I just couldn't figure out if this bishop ending is a draw.
Let me go 1 second. King E4, Rook E8. This one that you were mentioning, King D3, Rook E6, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if this is a draw. I had a feeling it probably is, but I thought here it will be rather difficult to foresee everything. And King
This
C2,
is true. This is true.
Rook D4, I thought I should have more than one way to draw.
More than one way to draw after this position.
It felt to me like this is a very drawish position.
Fabian has an accent.
Like in this position, I just thought.
Okay, come on, chill, you guys. Just chill.
Make a draw here, but Rook A6 is the most straightforward one.
Yes, Rook A6. And
chill, you guys. Take a deep breath.
Levon showed us quite a few lines in this position.
Yeah, Rook D4 is probably dubious for the. I see the variation that he gave on the screen.
Yeah.
It might also be a draw, but after A6, at least he has to prove the draw.
Right.
And so what he did is normal. I mean, after King B3 again, he has many moves which should be a draw. Like I feel like Rook G4, Rook C6 is a draw.
Yes, you're correct on that one.
Rook G2, A6, and like Rook G3, or I mean,
Bishop G1
maybe
or everything.
Bishop C5 gets dangerous. Maybe
yes.
Maybe that's bad, but I thought Rook G3 would be a draw at some moment. Like
Rook G3 immediately.
At some moment, he throws his check in, and we probably go back and forth. Like I have, let's say King B2 here, for example.
And then Rook G2 and draw.
Because check, right?
Yeah, he can go back, or because if Bishop G1, Bishop C5, then he doesn't have access to the A file. That's why I keep.
Thanks so much, Life is Karma, for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Anyway, some lines like this felt very drawish, and Rook C1, Bishop
very
C3.
True.
King A7, I started to feel like maybe there's some like tiny try, but I couldn't see it at all. Like first of all, Rook C6, Bishop E5.
Rook C6 here?
Bishop E5.
Is this 2850 analysis? Very funny, you guys.
I guess it's also a draw, but then I felt like I have to prove it. Because if King B2, he has this tricky move, Rook E1. And we get some rook ending where I think that I'm the one who has to prove a draw.
Right. Even if you get the rook somehow at the end, there's a lot of pawns coming.
Yeah, it'll take me a long time to get the rook. So Rook A7 was just like just a way to clean up the game. Because I have like Rook B6, I have Rook A8, but Rook A8 I thought was a try, and then I saw this F6 move. And again, he kind of trades the bishops, and I thought, okay, why go through this? Suddenly he's the one who has a tiny
Bishop B5.
Yeah, Bishop B5. Yep.
A6, Bishop B5. Take. I mean, again, should be a draw.
But why?
But why would I do this when Rook A7 is a completely clinical force draw?
You do it because everything draws.
This particular line.
That's why you do it. Everything draws.
Like
everything draws.
Out of steam,
That's why.
Or do you feel there's still stuff to look at here?
I think it might be running out of steam. I mean, I played this against Levon in 2018.
Twice.
Exactly this long castle thing. Well, the first time I think we both messed something up in the opening and we got something else entirely. But this specific endgame after a long castle, I played in a rapid.
And I played against Levon too in 2019.
Which was very important. We were playing
2018 in London, yes. That's a good one, you guys. 2018 in London, of course.
I think like I once played a match against Grishuk.
Thank you.
Where I must have played this exact line like 5 times.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
One of the showdowns here in St. Louis,
right? In 2017. So I think I'm probably the player who's played this C3, D5, E5 the most. Like I have easily a dozen games in this position after E5, Queen D5, Bishop C4, Queen D6. So I might have
4
to
draws today.
Look for different directions.
Yeah. You've played Levon over 150 times considering Rapid, Blitz, and Classical, and that's just over the board. Do you feel it ever gets difficult to prepare against such a player?
Not so much, but I did realize that some of the openings that he plays we have discussed, and so I had to think about that before the game. Like, he at some point had a phase where he was playing the B5, Bishop C5 Spanish Archangel very frequently, and we started checking it, so I had to think about what I would play that we hadn't specifically looked at. And, okay, this one we've never really checked because it's such a dead line. There's no point checking it. I was hoping that because it's kind of forgotten.
Fabio is just amazing. Like I said, I mean, obviously now everyone's going to make the meme joke that like I say it, but he is like he's just a machine. His calculation is really, really good. Really good.
Well.
Yeah, certainly hasn't forgotten any of these details. Perhaps that loss really put him in his memory. Well, thank you, Fab, for joining us here. I think we'll have a couple more interviews. Let me just update really quickly what's going on.
Yeah, very good. All right, let's go back to the game. We'll leave it here for a little bit. I assume we're winding it down probably, though, is my guess. I mean, Hans probably is giving an interview, so who knows? Who knows? Yeah. I assume he'll respond to what chess.com said, you would think. Machine, what are you implying? Yeah. FIDE Handbook 16.14 says it all. Magnus submitted a complaint they would do a statistical analysis by FIDE validated and improved algorithm. In the meantime, Magnus would not be saying anything. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think everybody knows that's the reason now. It's just a question of whether something was submitted, not submitted, what it was. IPK for the 6 months. Thanks so much to IPK. Yeah, no, Fabiano, like, he's just so good at calculation. You insinuating something, bro? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, Fabiano's just, I mean, he's a beast. What can you say? Really, really good. Really, really good player. Yeah, really good player. But anyway, we'll leave it here for now. Yeah. Is there a deflation in the FIDE ratings? All top players have lost their ratings. I think the points are getting spread out more evenly these days, for sure. Yeah, I think points are getting spread out. Yeah. Did we get a repetition here? We didn't, right? But we will soon, I think. Be glad when this drama subsides. I unfortunately don't think this drama is subsiding anytime soon. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna be subsiding anytime soon. That's my honest opinion. I don't think it's subsiding anytime soon. But Hans time, yeah. Whenever Hans doing his interview, I guess we'll watch. And we'll see. We'll see what's said. You never know. You never know. But yeah, let's leave it here for now until we get the interviews. What about Hans? Who do I think is the best at calculating in terms of like pure calculation? I would say the best player by far is Fabiano. If you just get a position where it's like fairly stable, it's not chaotic, Fabiano's calculation I think is better than anybody else, and I don't think it's actually even all that close. I don't think it's very close. Shaq is good when the positions are chaotic. When positions are very, very chaotic, Shaq is amazing. But like in just standard positions where minimal pawn breaks, very sort of set pawn structure, and it's about piece play and ideas, Fabiano is incredibly good at that. Incredibly good. What does Fabiano lack to be the best of them? I mean, I think the problem is Fabiano was doing everything right when he played the match against Magnus, and it still wasn't enough. I mean, Fabiano played that match against Magnus. I mean, I'm hard pressed to say what he did wrong, other than not win that one game where he was up the piece. But again, it was a borderline fortress. So yeah, I mean, I thought Fabiano played a nearly perfect match, and he still lost. So I don't know what to say. Play a game and I give 10 subs. No games right now. I mean, we're waiting for the big interview, obviously. Yeah, so by the way, for those of you guys who are wondering what the program is going to be, tomorrow we will be covering the Sinquefield once again. Obviously, we'll be covering the Sinquefield. Then on Sunday, we're going to be playing in the Lee Chess 960 qualifier. Benjamin will be on our channel covering it, of course. So I think it'll be like a watch party in a sense. We'll be following it. And then after that, I will be flying to St. Louis to play in the 960 event. And then we'll have the 960 coverage, obviously, on our channel. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with Benjamin and Irina. And then I'll be back on Saturday or Sunday for more quality content. Hans, okay, let's go back. Let's listen into what's being said.
Match in Paris.
Here we go.
So I'm quite acquainted, and we've played many Blitz matches under casual circumstances, and we've played Blitz matches in many different settings with, let's say, unique handicap. So you know, it's safe to say.
Is there a Physic GNU for the 5? Or Guy Coolman for the 5 as well. Appreciate it.
Him personally and his chess, definitely much more than other players here.
He surprises you a little bit, doesn't use his usual e4, which he tries to do as most as possible in classical chess. Instead, we get this kind of Grunfeld-ish position. What were your thoughts going into this variation?
Yeah, well, after the game, I said, you know, when was the last time you played out of 3 in Glasgow? I said, I couldn't remember. So he simply, and I think that is a sign that forgetting not to check knight f3. You know, to be honest, I only looked at e4, and even I think we played 100 Blitz games, never once has he not played before. So of course it was a surprise, but so after knight f3, even on the first move I had to make such a big decision, right? Because there's so many implications in the move knight f3. So first I'm trying to understand, okay, why not c4, why not d4, why not f3? And usually when people start with knight f3, it means that they want to go g3. Sometimes it means that they want to go c4 without allowing e5. So I was trying to sort of understand where things were going so I could sort of
No, I'm making it look because I'm making it look not because of that. I'm a little bit confused by why exactly knight f3 means you want to go
forced
G3.
to be precise.
Right.
And obviously within knight f3 G3, it's actually quite a dangerous system. So there are a lot of ways that black can actually go wrong and run into deep prep. So I went for the one thing I think you didn't expect. Let's just start after knight takes d5, because this is the first moment I want to talk about.
Okay.
So I actually, going for this line, I've never checked this too deeply. However, there was a game, I think it was Hakopian against Theodoru. Pretty sure Theodoru was black, Aram Hakopian was white. And it was in the Summer Chess Classic.
Nepo crushed Judah? Okay.
I made a quick draw, knight b5, bishop b6, knight d5, bishop c8. So I remembered following this quick draw, and I've seen, I think, this quick draw twice. So my conclusion was that it's probably not that bad. And my play seems pretty simple here. I recalled something after knight c3, take.
After being accused of fake accent, this is how I speak now after living in Europe.
These positions that are symmetrical sort of just lead to a lot of
relax, you guys, relax.
Liquidation.
We're trying to watch the interview. Just relax.
Right. And he definitely wasn't going to be able to fully punish me because he had no idea. How can he expect this? Or because when you play knight f3 g3, you're doing a lot of work before the game, and I don't even think he didn't have a rest day. He played the game yesterday. So yeah.
One little sip out of water.
This first critical moment, knight b3, was obviously an interesting surprise. Had knight b4, I thought was the most logical. He plays knight c3, knight c6. Yeah, I anticipate all of this. Bishop.
Yeah, I'm like drinking air because I thought I had more water in this, but I've got no water.
A3, so bishop f5, rook c1.
Things are just qua for the 23 months. Things are just qua.
Now, I was slightly worried about the position, but what I played is an extremely concrete solution. The knight on a6 is a bit awkward, but this down to b3 is also a bit awkward. So we've got this weird sort of tension between these two knights. Otherwise, I felt that my bishop went on 5.
Into the mug, yeah. Thanks so much a cheesy chase for to get this up. Thanks so much a cheesy chase. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Corresponding bishops.
No, of course I can. I can watch them regardless. But yeah,
so
it's just an interview that has to be watched.
I thought bishop b6 was the only move because I wanted to be extremely concrete, take advantage of this weak knight, and he played queen c2, bishop f5. Bishop b4, queen d7, and honestly, if you look at my time, I literally was playing so quickly.
Right.
I spent a bunch of time in the opening. So, after yesterday, I just decided, okay, I'm just gonna follow my intuition, just gonna play quickly, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. So this queen e6,
there's 6 minutes 24 seconds. Like I said, really you guys, they said something, but fair use. They would lose in court on fair use because I am reacting to the content. So
it's not a weird.
If it's more than 10 minutes, it's more than 10 minutes. I'm not too worried about it.
It's a completely different structure, but I thought that it was a really great square because it's simultaneously. Okay, I guess the main problem. Okay, if you sort of compare the pieces, right? You've got the main issue in these positions, a lot of pieces, is the queen placement. So the queen on c2 was a bit off. Like, for example, let's say instead of queen to d7, I played bishop takes e4.
Okay. This position, but before
I'm barely reacting. So no, I'm listening to it.
On e4,
I know you don't want to talk about his lack of access disturbing. Okay, chill.
And my queen is very misplaced.
Yeah.
So the main sort of dynamic and issue was sort of solving the queen placement, and if the queen placement is solved with the light square bishops being traded, the pressure from my g7 bishop, especially with the weakness on b2, combined with a3 being already included, I felt that obviously the knight on a6.
I know. I mean, I'm just confused by the analysis. This is not. I know everyone's gonna make some implication.
Had to be very direct, at least if he was gonna do anything. And okay, with the game, this gf5 idea is obviously quite weird, but my bishop on g7 is protecting very well. The bishop on e3 is terrible, and as we saw in the game, he had to play knight d4.
Were you not worried about anything else in this position?
Knight d5 crossed my mind, and we discussed this after the game. So there were just so many. Even I was just struggling to make sense of this. Like I considered knight d4, but I was just maybe I was like, wait, there's so many moves. I was like,
knight d4 just loses the game. What?
And I was just like, okay, if he plays knight d4.
I mean, knight d4, queen c8, you resign.
No, if I play knight d4, maybe, but I was just
knight d4 just loses, queen takes c8.
Like, I'm sorry, but I cannot, before, to play chess, you need to be in such a serene state, You need to
knight
sleep
d4,
well.
queen takes c8 is just tactics 101. Danny and I analyzed
social media
it.
5 hours of the day. You need to go to the game with a clear mind, and you need to be calm.
You have to pull a Yasser.
You have to. You can't be have a million different things entering your head at once, and And even before this Wesley game, I was told actually just to force a draw because playing chess in these conditions is simply no one can do this.
Because he can't ball a king of 7 and corgi king for the 4.
Anyways, I think it happened. But after knight d5, there's rook d8. We discussed rook d8, knight f4, queen e4.
Yeah.
And there was also queen e5 as well. But queen e4, take. Maybe you can argue queen takes e4, f8, let's say rook takes d8, rook takes d8, let's say rook c2. Maybe you can argue some slight pull, but I just think this bishop on g7 is so strong, and there isn't really a direct plan. Maybe f5 is a bit weak, but I thought... Oh, no, sorry, there's
but f5, knight e6.
Here, maybe.
Yeah, the edges thought this was actually fine for you. Perhaps they were a little bit more worried about this cool move rook d3, but it's, of course, difficult to find
Yeah, rook d3, well, yeah. Yeah, I didn't consider rook d3. But yeah, rook d8 would probably be the most natural continuation. Perhaps had some hope for knight d4, but I don't think it was working.
No, it definitely did not.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. Yeah, I think that's... I think at least I knew that I was not capable of calculating at all this game.
You got to this position and you seemed like we were forced to calculate. I guess some of the crazy
it's just so simple. Here. Like, come on, it's just easy, right? What do you mean calculate? Like if you go back, all I knew was basically forced. Like, if you can suggest another candidate move.
No. After rook f5, what were your thought process?
I thought maybe rook d6.
Yeah.
I thought the nice.
he's pushing. He's pushing for moves again. Here we go again. He's fishing for
where the queen was going.
Well, you can
maybe
take.
I'm lying. You can take. Oh, maybe am I getting mated? Wow, that's
no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Wait, but the rook on d1 is hanging. No, with check.
Yes.
And then I can. I'm sorry. Is this like a joke? Am I like a prank? Like, could I take the rook? Like, I'm sorry.
There's still a draw. There's queen f3, queen h5.
Yeah, okay. You're spending too much time with the computers. I'm sorry. Like, I don't. I think this variation speaks for itself. Like, this is no, but of course I saw that rook d6, but I usually assume like if rook d6 is happening and I'm taking a rook, and the king, rook and g5 is hanging, I can't imagine a situation where I'm losing. So
that's
I think
true.
that wasn't. I think that was a logical way for me. I don't know if it was necessary to calculate this far.
No, and then you made a very comfortable draw. After the move queen e4, did you feel you were rather safe?
Yeah, the rooks are traded. It's just maybe white is to be preferred, but. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your loss yesterday. They say that you learn a lot from losses. What went through your mind?
This is true. Thou correct. I do learn a lot from my losses, and there was actually a period where I would never have I would never draw. Like there was a period, I think when I was around 2,500, that I went to a tournament. It was 7 wins, 2 losses. Next tournament was like 9 games, 1 draw. It was like 5. I won 4 games in a row. Then I lost 5 games in a row. Then the next tournament. So my style has become a bit more solid. But I've always, I think losses are, of course, a lot to learn from. And there's so much to learn from this game. First of all, the Petrov was a unique surprise. Of course, I was still ready and I played normally. But I think that the thing that really should be learned, especially when you're playing guys against Wesley, is that risk aversion is, I think, a really, really important skill in chess. And I think that if you look at someone like Wesley, he never, I don't know if he doesn't really blow people off the board, but he is just so precise, so accurate, and he simply never will make a blunder or a mistake extremely rarely. So I think this is a conscious thing, and at many points early on in this opening, I could have made decisions that would maybe never lose the game, right?
Right, of course.
And that is obviously a lesson to be learned, but considering the circumstances, I don't think I need to even verbalize the mental pressure and everything that's going on. Like, maybe only I can understand this, or people who have been through similar things, but I assure you, playing chess, doing something, sitting there for 5 hours, trying to keep a clear head, trying to compete. Even this is my first super tournament of my life, so this is extremely difficult. But I love chess and I'm just enjoying playing, but I wouldn't be lying if I'm just really hoping for this I really just, I can't play chess anymore. This is to play chess under these conditions is absolutely ridiculous.
Gotta say, it's not bad to not be able to play chess and still make a draw against MVL with the black pieces.
Yeah, but of course, MVL is also having a difficult tournament, so maybe he wasn't as... I think MVL having a good tournament would have played e4, and things would have been much more combative. in this case, based on the opening and based on the tournament situation, I think that it's a fine result, and I think I played pretty well. I don't think I made significant mistakes, and I didn't get into time pressure for no reason like I have in every game.
Hans, we have a question from the audience. At least that's what our producers have been telling us.
Oh, jeez.
There on the screen. For Hans, given the last couple of years of travel isolation, and now this
from our
drama,
producer, right?
To lean on.
No, it's not this. It's different, luckily.
What do you mean by a support network?
I didn't write this question.
Like support, I think that the wording is just I would maybe a group of people that would be supporting. Well, you know,
people that you can go to.
Well, I live a pretty isolated life. To be honest, and that's by choice. So I will say that I have received an insane amount of messages. I think every single person that I've
seriously
ever met
say that,
played in chess has sent me a message, and honestly, all positive. Maybe 1 out of 100 are negative. So at the early moments,
it is a tough question. To be fair, it is tough.
When people were sending responding messages after my first interview, this was obviously really, it was nice to see, and some articles written, and obviously that was supportive. But in terms of speaking to people. That's just my personal life, so I don't really care to elaborate on that. But I have a very small. I like to play chess, and I like to do all things chess, and I have people that there's certainly people that I trust. That's true, and people that I've talked to. But yeah, you could say yes. I wouldn't say group or network, but I would say group of people. But you know, this situation has certainly showed the true colors of many people.
Well, Hans, thank you for joining us. I know that you have 2 more games and that you want to finish your first super tournament on a high note, so we'll let you rest.
Thank you.
Yeah, two quick questions for you, Hans. First of all, how did you do in those blitz matches that you mentioned with MVL when you guys were combating?
Yeah, so I'll tell. So
here we go again. More.
First. I was going from Armenia to Germany for the Bundesliga, and I got a few days to burn. So I was like, why not go to Paris? And they arranged the match, and it was a 2-set match. We played, I believe, 3+1.
2-set? What does that mean?
To 6, I believe.
Oh, the Magnus idea. Interesting.
3+0 to 6 as well. He absolutely dominated me in the first portion. I think it was something. It was a huge score, maybe 6-1. But the second portion, I won. Then we played a 4-game.
No comment. I mean, he's not going to be asked about it unless he brings it up. But I'm sure he's been told not to bring it up.
Armageddon.
That's my guess.
He beat me, but he was dead lost, and even he will admit that. But it was a casual match. It was actually a lot of. It was at this chess bar, and there's huge crowds as well. After every game, they were clapping. So it was quite a unique format. But I definitely think if you ask MVL, and there's a video of this. There's a full video of this. Me playing Blitz against the world Blitz.
No, I mean it's not going to come up.
Him in a long match.
No chance.
If you guys want to see my Blitz skills, I'm sure you can find that video against the world Blitz champion.
Yasser, you had a second question?
Yeah. Do you have a coach? Do you have somebody you work with? Do you have a coach?
I don't. Yes, but I would not like to reveal the.
That's good enough for us.
That's good enough. Yeah.
Yes.
Is it good?
I have coach, advisor, the term mentor. You know, it's I have people helping me. I decided after 4 years
we're
of no
not really
coach,
after
maybe
names,
I should get one. But actually, you know, I would actually like to first of all pay tribute to one of my first coaches. Yasser, you might know him, John Grief.
Yes.
And I was actually
love John Grief.
In light of this entire situation, I would actually like to actually speak about something. Just now, there's all the attention. I'd like to highlight someone very important. When I was 9 years old,
it's Grief, but he's like an IM from California.
Coffee shop.
He's like an IM from California.
My dad would take me there, and these guys were like, average age would be 60, and I was 9 years old, and I'd go there and I'd play Blitz against them, just every Sunday, and then it became multiple times a week, and I just play so much Blitz against these guys. And one of the people there knew John Grief and wanted to give me a coach, and my family couldn't afford working with him, so this guy sponsored the lessons, and I was actually the last person to work with him before he passed away, and he had no family, and I was one of the only people to see him before he passed away. and a lot of my inspiration and my chess passion came from him. He was the U.S. champion, I think in 1971.
Wait, who was the U.S. champion? Sorry, who did you say was the champion?
Miguel Najdorf. But it was a really sad story because he.
Wait, who's the U.S. champion? I didn't catch it. Were they saying that his coach was John Grief?
As the answer probably knows, back then becoming a professional in chess was very difficult. So I just like to
No, who was he saying? I didn't catch it.
On his amazing impact on my career.
How do you pronounce it?
And his legacy.
No, I mean there's an elephant in the room, but I assume they're not going to bring it up. Yeah.
I hope that people remember him to be a great chess player, and he was a chess purist. Absolutely, he had health problems, and I'd go over for lessons. And he could barely walk, but he was picking me up chocolate chips,
1971,
lemonade, and
73.
Really
he's 73.
Chess.
Okay, that's that's no big deal. That happens all the time.
And all of this, and all this drama and everything. If everyone's going to listen to me, then I'm going to at least talk about something that's important to me.
71, 73. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
I mean that's no big deal. I get over the sob story. Okay, chill, you guys, relax.
John Grief very well, as you said, a former U.S. champion, and
I clicked to check. It's Grief. Okay.
Down from Edmonton to Seattle.
Don't upload this on YouTube. They're going to kill you on Reddit.
We had one album.
Okay.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We had this tape deck, and we played it over and over and over and over again for 7.5 hours. Hans, good luck in the remaining games. Thank you so much for your comment.
Yeah. All right. That's good for now. Yeah. Let's re-upload it anyway. Did this game end? Oh no, this game didn't end in a draw, by the way. This is very difficult to watch. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's ending with a story again. It's avoiding the elephant in the room. But he wasn't prompted to talk about the elephant in the room, so of course he's not going to, I assume. And again, it is what it is. It is what it is. Upload and get killed. I'm not. I mean, I have a separate video that I'm uploading right now, I think. Hey, SL2R for the Prime. Quixotic for the Prime as well. Let me change the scene, obviously. There we go. Thanks for a license to build for the 8 and rest in peace for 3 months. Appreciate it. Yeah. Weird to bring up the tweet in the interview. Well, I mean, they wouldn't bring it up. No, of course not. But yeah, I mean, again, for them, it's a very awkward situation. Very, very awkward for St. Louis at this point. So it's what it is. Thank you so much to End the Sun for the 6 months. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you for the 6 month resub.
Thanks for the stream.
Well, let's keep going. Thank you so much to Near Think for the 23 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Near Think just took 5.
I mean, the elephant, yeah, it's in regards to chess.com. I mean, why did he seem so nervous? You guys, like, we're not psychotherapists or psychoanalysts, whatever the right word is, but yeah, more like a bug. Yeah. Again, like, it's the game analysis is just not there. I mean, again, it's one move that he said. Like, I think it's reading too much into it, but it is very weird that he said knight d4. I mean, he said knight d4 is just flat out loses. I mean, he just like he says I think he said I look at knight d4 and that just loses on the spot. I mean, Daniel and I went right over this. He just said, like, after knight d5, knight d4, but you just lose. Queen takes c8, takes. I even showed this with knight e7. You just win the game. That's just game over. So yeah, that was kind of odd here, but that doesn't mean anything, obviously, just to be very, very clear. It was just very weird that he said knight d4. I mean, because normally when you look at lines during the game, like, you'd see like, okay, knight d4, queen c8, game over. I mean, Daniel and I both spotted in 1 second. But yeah, like, it's not that big. But then he said, what did he say afterwards? He said, like, rook fd8 or something as well. So yeah, knight f4, queen e4, rook d3 is pretty dank. I mean, pretty dank. I would not expect someone to play rook d3. He said he discussed it with MV after game. Yeah, why do certain people want to defend a cheater so badly? I mean, it's probably because, frankly, this is over the board chess. Nothing has been proven, as we've said many times. That's the first thing. Secondly, I think, again, he is still a kid. He's 19 years old. That's the bottom line. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens in the coming days. How do Hans get invited to St. Louis over other strong players? Safe tweet. What is this? Anish? Yeah. I mean, no one knows for sure. Again, there's a big difference between online versus over the board. Nothing will be proven, even if he did. No, I mean, who knows? 19 is not a kid. Okay, whatever, you guys. But at the end of the day, yeah, nothing has been proven over the board. What's this tweet? Okay. So, okay, I don't know what that tweet is. Oh, wait, is he trying to say that something happened differently? Oh, this is chess by the numbers. Okay, I mean, I don't want to get into the analysis, but oh, let's see what is said. What's he saying? He's saying, but if the 200 point, then Hans is the fastest. You can. They're saying 25 months from 2458 to 2660, but the fastest was Geary in 24 months. Wei Yi and Jeffrey Zhang, Hans took 42, but if you 200-point jump is 25, 2700 plus, Hans is the fastest. So it's like there's nothing clear cut, right? It's saying that basically it's saying that Hans is the fastest rise ever, essentially, from 2500 to 2700 plus in history. That's what it's saying, right? No, what they're saying is 24, but be clear, this is 2460, 2660. They're saying a 200-point jump, but they're saying from 2500 to 2700 plus, Hans is the fastest in the entire history of the game of chess, if I understand it correctly, right? Thanks so much to Fren Azuko for the 19 months. Appreciate it. So yeah, so that's what they're saying. The fastest to get 2700, not the fastest to have 200 points, right? But 200 points was never really the thing. I didn't think. I think it's that people are saying like, and also it's from the age of 17. How old was Wei Yi? Was what, like 12? Wasn't Wei Yi like really young? I thought Wei Yi peaked at 2730 at like 15 or 16 or something. But anyway, yeah. So that's what they're saying is like, yeah, he's historically the fastest player to ever go from 2500 to 2700 plus. That's what they're saying, if I understand it. So they're saying that makes him the greatest ever with that hairdo. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I heard you're starting a reality TV show with your talents for drama. Yeah. But yeah, so that's all it's saying, but that doesn't really say anything. That's just saying fastest ever to get 2700. So that's what it is. So fair enough. Oh, Hans took 42 months. Well, I guess, but yeah, you don't know. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. That's all kind of random, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's go back to the game very quickly. Let's take one last look at this. And there we go. What's happening here? Do we have more moves, or is it still a draw? King C7 played by Ali Rez. I mean, again, looks pretty dry. Looks pretty dry here. Wei Yi is a hard worker. What's your analysis? I mean, Wei Yi was amazing. He was like 2730 when he was 16, and he just hasn't improved since. He just basically flatlined somewhere around there. Yeah. Your face said everything during the interview. Kappa, yeah, exactly. Blow the 2660 stat off. LOL, WTF. What do you mean? What do you mean, blow it off? I'm not blowing off anything. It's just saying he's the fastest to go to 2700. But that doesn't... What's that saying? Yeah, I don't get what you guys are saying exactly. Flatline means basically that like Wei Yi stopped improving completely. But yeah. What's the reason they plateau? I mean, I don't actually know I mean, nobody knows the reason. It's like, why does everybody plateau randomly? Oh, they're saying 2700 is arbitrary. That's actually valid. That makes sense. Yeah. Everyone plateaus at some point. Yeah. I did plateau. Like many others did. Yes. Well, everybody plateaus. Magnus's peak was 2880, right? And will they ever get above that? Unlikely. Very unlikely. But we'll see. Who knows? I plateau at 1600 exactly. Or it was 2889. Sorry. Yeah, that was in Azerbaijan. Yeah, because I lost to not Han, sorry. I lost to Magnus in both games there. Very unfortunate. All right. Anyway, okay, so this game is still going, but you know, I think I'm going to call it a day. I mean, this game is going to be a very slow, very long end game, not very exciting. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I lost Magnus both games there. Yeah, it was a very rough tournament. I remember that very well. I think of Kali Box. I lost in the Slav. I lost a game in the Slav that was just like terrible. Plain and simple. Yeah, it happens. So all right, you guys, on that note, I mean, like I said, this game is going to drag on for a long time, so it's all good. Thank you, Toonspoon, for the 2 months. This game's going to drag on forever, so I'm going to call it a day. We're going to send the raid over to Blitzstream, who is doing part of a charity event for French charities. So make sure to donate, support him, everything he's doing for chess in France, and we will see you guys tomorrow for another